Well, good morning, early birds. I just got off the air for CBS this morning, and I was going to take Paddington out to potty, but he ain't moving from his bed. So I said, "Okay, well, we'll do a little town hall. You going back to sleep, buddy? Hmm, Going back to sleep. Good morning to all of you. Yeah, just did my report for CBS this morning from my apartment. And I love that one of the messages I got to read it to you. This is kind of funny. So I'm sitting here when I did my report, and a lady responded and said, let's see where her message was. David Begnaud, sir, thank you for your reporting, but please shop online for a nice art poster or macrame. I don't even know what that is. What's a macrame? Macrame hanging for that wall. Yeah, I know. I know. Let's look up what macrame means. Macrame. Macrame. The art of knotting cords or strings in a pattern to make decorative articles. Okay. I'm too busy. Too busy doing all of this to be decorating. I don't have a decorative bone in my body. That's what I always say to people. I know what I do well, and I know what I don't do well. I do not decorate. I do not hang pictures in a straight line well. It's not even something I pretend to do. So bring in people. Pay them for their talent to come in and help me. All right, here we go. Koki. Hall. An early town hall, 7:24 in the morning. I imagine most of you guys are going to be East Coasters. Hmm. Koki didn't want to talk. All right, friends. So FYI, don't hit the button. If you hit the button, you might get called on. We should start a hashtag. Don't hit the button if you don't want to get called on. Hi.
Hi,
What's your name?
Priscilla.
Hi, Priscilla. Where are you in the world?
I'm in Puerto Rico.
Where about?
I'm San Juan.
Okay, so for everybody watching, there was a little bit of breaking news this morning. The island of Puerto Rico reported the second death due to COVID-19. It is a 73-year-old man who was vacationing with his wife on the island, and he passed away. So we've been doing these town halls. You may have seen where we're talking about the new normal. What is yours?
Well, here, what I've been hearing is that we're gonna see a rise in cases, but it's because we're gonna know the results.
Right,
It's
we're going to
not
do more testing. Right,
exactly.
right.
So that's what we've been hearing, that not to get afraid, because
Hmm.
people just been following
Hmm.
um, the 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 shut the lockdown.
The lockdown. What has changed about your life? What is your new normal? Like, what are you not doing anymore that you would usually do?
Well, I am here, but I live in Miami,
Okay.
and I work from home. Even though I work for a local company,
Yeah.
but I work remotely. So for me, it hasn't been that much of a difference. I'm visiting my parents here.
How old are they?
78 and 79.
Are they taking this seriously? Do they seem to
Yes,
get it? Okay,
they
good,
haven't left home at all.
good, good,
And
good.
I'm here with my children. I did some homeschooling.
Yeah.
That was tough. This week we're in spring break, so I have a break. So I've been trying to work from home full time while I homeschool, which has
Hmm.
been um, tough. And now I appreciate more
The
the
teachers.
teachers. Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was like, we have
yeah.
to give them presents, champagne, everything. We have to,
No
because I
kidding.
mean, it's
Are you planning to go back to Miami, Priscilla, or are you going to stay in Puerto Rico?
well, my husband is in Miami,
Okay.
and but there were two cases confirmed in our building, so he can't go out. And
Oh,
eventually, I guess I am going to Miami. But for now, we're not planning on. There's no need for us to expose ourselves.
yeah. I hear you. I hear you. Well, thanks for joining us this morning. It's early.
Yes, I was trying to do some exercise.
Well, happy exercising.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
You know, I'm looking out the window and I want to show y'all what I'm seeing. If it translates. There is snow falling. I'm serious. There's snow. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it is snowing in New York City. Love it. Love it. Good morning to all of y'all. Yeah, snow, that's what I said, right? I mean, I had to look for a minute to make sure I was seeing the right thing, but yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, David. I'm so excited. How
Yeah.
are you?
I'm good, love. What's your name?
My name is Carmen.
Okay, Miss Carmen, where are you located in the world?
Well, I'm in Orlando, Florida.
Okay, all right.
And
You're
go
up
ahead.
early with the rest of us.
Yes,
What's
yes.
your new normal?
Well, it's kind of complicated. Like here in Florida, I don't think that they doing much. I don't go out. My immune system is compromised.
Okay.
My husband, on the other end, has to go out. So how yesterday?
Because,
Well, he works. Um, he works for cable. Here in Florida, that is considered a must.
essential.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how he got a job yesterday? For somebody that had the virus, he refused the job. He refused the job. How you gonna send him to somebody's home?
So they wanted him to go, and the person at the home is a confirmed case of the virus?
Well, I don't know if it's confirmed because so he did contacted the lady. She was kind of upset. In the notes, it says she was being quarantined for it.
Okay, so may have not been confirmed, but you can understand how out of an abundance of caution he wouldn't want to go.
Exactly, which
I get
I
it.
don't understand either because
I
if
get
I
it.
need service of any kind, we know the situation that's going on. I'm not gonna mention anything that has to do with the virus, correct? Unless I've been exposed and I've been told that I have to be quarantined. Um, my mother's in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, how old is she?
She is 72.
Does she seem to get it, how serious it is?
She does. She's actually in the hospital.
Oh,
She's very sick. She gets dialysis and all that.
oh,
She also has heart issues, and
yeah.
right now her heart is acting up. That's why she's in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
We had a family trip planned for a while to go to Puerto Rico and see them because my kids, well, they grown men now, haven't seen my mother or my mother-in-law for quite a few years, and that's been canceled.
It's been canceled. Yeah, everybody's had to cancel. I mean, we've talked to people who've canceled weddings. I've talked to people who weren't able to attend family funerals. I've talked to people who weren't able to be there when their parents died because they died in nursing homes. And in the United States, under the president's national emergency order, you cannot visit a nursing home unless the person is dying. And the particular case I'm talking about, they didn't know she was going to die. They didn't know her death was imminent, and they were not able to be there.
You know, one thing about Puerto Rico as well, like,
Yeah.
so my brother's there. He's the only one. There's four of us that's actually in Puerto Rico right at this time. He's allowed to go in the hospital to visit with her.
So hospitals are different than the nursing homes, but I hear you, and I will tell you that here in New York City, they've talked about limiting some, most, or all visitors.
I think, you know, like, I love my mother dearly, don't get me wrong, and I will give anything to be there with her.
Yeah.
You know, because my main concern right now is I know her health, and I'm afraid that she could die in this hospital, and for me not to be there, it will kill me. But at the other hand, like even if it's an hour, my brother going into the hospital because they don't give you anything. No glove, no mask, no nothing. Um, just him being there for that 1 hour.
Puts her at risk.
Exactly, especially that we know how the services in Puerto Rico,
Well, listen, we should say that there are some phenomenal nurses and doctors, but the hospital system is aged. It is burdened by a ton of people needing care, and they don't have the supplies. I mean, we talked to a nurse last night in Puerto Rico who works at a hospital in Mayaguez, and she gets one mask a day. That's it. And she's been sanitizing it to reuse it.
So I was the one that called the ambulance for my mother, because she was having a hard time breathing. My brother made it on time, and we were FaceTiming. And I was actually so surprised because our concern was that my mother had it because she had a cough and she couldn't breathe, She was cold, but part of being in dialysis and being as sick as my mother is, she's always cold.
Yeah.
So we didn't know if she had a fever. Obviously, I'm not there. So I called emergency service. They were very good. The ambulance got there in no time. My brother met up with them, and they had no protection, no glove, no mask, and they were so loving to my mother. Yet they were being exposed.
Yeah.
So when my mother,
because your mother could have exposed them to it, and vice versa. Yeah.
My mother had mask because this is something that is given to her due to her health.
Yeah, sure.
And I actually told my brother, listen, go to the room and give them a pack of the mask. My mother had one. I said, give it to them because these people are working out there and they don't have what they need. It's so sad.
I love that. Did he do that?
He actually gave them two because she had quite a
Awesome.
few.
Awesome.
And the following day, when he went to the hospital, he took a pack and looked for a particular nurse that took care of my mother in the emergency room. Because again, she was taking care of my mother with no glove and no mask. Because she didn't have it. My mother questioned her. My mother was like, oh my God, sweetheart, because she was very young. You have no mask and no glove.
Wow.
And she hesitated to answer to my mother, but they don't have.
I hear you.
Uh-huh.
Listen, thanks for telling us that. So, by the way, last question: did your mother get tested for COVID?
No.
No. Okay.
They did other tests because she doesn't have the fever, and I guess
Gotcha.
And all that they didn't.
Gotcha. Thank you for weighing in, love. Thank you for sharing your story, your mama's story. I'm wishing your mama a speedy recovery.
Thank you. And thank you for everything you do for us Puerto Rican and for the island in general.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
You bet. You bet. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
All right. Let me just check my messages. Someone said about power. I just saw a comment from one of you guys that said power is out. Let me check and see if there's any announcement about power being out on the island. Humacao. Okay, so Humacao went out of service, but it's being restored. Las Marias, out of service, being restored. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, let's see. It is early. I figured I was sitting here. Paddington's not asking to go to the bathroom, so we might as well. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Good morning. What is your name?
Good morning. I am Melanie Lopez.
Miss Lopez, where are you in the world?
I'm right now in Bayamon, Puerto Rico.
Bayamon. Do you work in the health industry?
I'm not. I'm a project manager. I'm working in disaster management.
Disaster management. Okay.
Yes,
Tell,
actually working with Maria stuff.
post Maria relief stuff.
Yes,
Okay, got it. Tell everybody what you were saying. By the way, can you hear me well?
yes,
Okay, because sometimes
yes.
these headphones don't work well. Tell everybody what comment you just posted. That's why I wanted to bring you in.
Yes. I just find a little bit disrespectful
We
about the
can't
lady.
see. We
Yeah,
can't.
that,
We can't see you, love. Okay. Okay. Better. Better.
yeah.
Better. Okay. Yes.
I
Much
find
better.
it a little bit disrespectful about the lady that was with you minutes ago about the hospitals and the system. We I'm 34. I have lived in Puerto Rico all my life, and I'm gonna show you. I live with my grandparents. They are 89 and 84. Here is my grandfather, Antonio, 89
Good
veteran,
morning, sir.
and my grandmother, 84. He's a
Oh,
reporter. Um, I grew up with them. I take care of them. Right now, I'm in the quarantine. I took my measures a week ahead, and I went to the hospital, San Pablo Hospital, on Monday because my grandmother has a fall, and they have a really good protocol in the hospital. I do know, and we all know that we have issues in the island, but I do believe that hospital nurses and the whole health system of Puerto Rico, they are doing their best. I find that the particular case of that lady, you know, something maybe had happened to them, but the hospitals, the professionals, they do have their masks, they do have their gloves, and they have each one of the hospital have their protocols to work with the people that have symptoms with coronaviruses. So that was my issue, because I went to the hospital on Monday, and the ER room was with nobody. And if you go there and they ask you your symptoms, if you have coronavirus symptoms, someone comes and take you away to another area to treat you. So if you go there because you have a really an emergency, they're going to treat you in the triage on the fast track. But if you go with coronavirus symptoms, they took you away. You're not mixed with other people.
I wanted you to share your perspective. Everybody has a different perspective. One
I
might
know.
not agree with the other, but I wanted people to hear yours. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So there you go. By the way, my allergies are kicking my tail this morning. Kicking my tail. Good morning.
Hi, David.
Hi. What is your name?
My name is Laura.
Where are you in the world, Laura?
I'm in India.
You're in India?
Yes, I'm from Puerto Rico, but I'm in India. I've been here since January.
Wow. Okay. Well, tell me what is life like in India? What precautions are they taking?
Well, yesterday we had what they initially called the curfew. It started at 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, and it went all the way through 9 o'clock at night. But then during the night, they decided to extend it and lock down. So basically, everybody is in their homes, staying in. However, there are some people that are still going outside, and on the news, we're starting to hear how police officers are starting to intervene and they're starting to, approach people that just don't understand that you need to be inside.
Now,
You
Laura,
need to stay home.
are you on vacation in India?
Actually, no. I came here in January. In Puerto Rico, we were having the earthquakes. When things settled down, I came here on a mission. I help my community here in India. I was bringing blankets and distributing wheat to different families here. I've been doing that now for about 7 years. And while I was here on this project, all these things with coronavirus started to get more serious. And so my family in Puerto Rico, we decided that I should not travel and I should wait until things kind of, give myself also a quarantine. I think traveling from here, I would have to go to Mumbai, and then from Mumbai, I would have taken a plane to JFK, and then from JFK down to Puerto Rico. And I just didn't want to risk it. I didn't want to risk my friends. I didn't want to risk my family. I think the best thing I can do right now is just stay inside and wait and see what's going on.
I hear you.
I miss my family so much. I'm so worried about them, my kids, my grandkids. They're all in San Juan. So I'm praying that, everybody will be okay. I'm praying for everybody.
I think you're making a wise decision to stay put, stay put.
Thank you, David. I really appreciate you saying that to me because, I think all us that are outside of our homes, I mean, in the sense people who are traveling and have been caught abroad, we struggle with, should I go home? I need to be there for my family. What if somebody gets sick? You know what I mean? And our anxiety might push us to want to travel. But the truth is that you might be traveling and infecting yourself and then taking something home to the people that you were trying to get there to protect in the first place. So it's really scary. It's horribly scary, but I think that I'm making the right choice. And I appreciate that you reaffirm that because every day I struggle with, I just want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home.
Well, I want to thank you because of two things. You're being both personally and socially responsible. And the reality of what we're dealing with now is that we can't afford to be selfish because we have the ability to transmit it to others. On that flight home, you might give it to someone else because you have no idea you picked it up in India.
Exactly.
And in between Mumbai, JFK, and San Juan, you might pick it up from someone and bring it down to the island. So listen, your testimony is very valuable here because I think the right way to educate people beyond shaming them is to share, right? And when we see somebody like you making the conscious choice to not go out into the world to either be a carrier of it or a receiver, it's both appreciated and it's a lesson to all of us. So I thank you. I'm so glad we got you on.
Thank you. And I just want to say, that yesterday I had an experience here at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I was hearing from a distance like clapping and the sound of like pots and pans. It reminded me when we were in that situation in Puerto Rico trying to get the governor to resign.
Right.
And
what is it? What do y'all call it?
Colis.
What's the word? The
Colis
or the
Colizero? What's it called?
Coli.
When they bang the pots, is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's a plate and
a spoon.
and plate.
Yeah. Okay.
I started hearing it and I just didn't know what it was. And then all of a sudden, I live on the 11th floor. I'm in Mohali. And I stepped outside and people were in their balconies and from their, their homes outside and they were clapping. And I just didn't know what was going on because really Facebook and everything else is overwhelming. You go in, but it's like so overwhelming that you just want to get out. So you try to, you go to TikTok or something and try to see something funny and, release a little stress. But all of a sudden, our neighbor on the other balcony, on the other side, he asked him, what's going on? And he says, we're applauding and we are like solidarity and showing a thank you to the doctors and the medical teams and all the people who are out there trying to find a cure and fighting this. And I tell you, David, my heart, my chest, I started to cry because it was like, wow, wow, all these people have recognized that what these nurses, these doctors, these scientists, everybody is doing, what a sacrifice, because they also have their families and they're exposed every day. So I was moved. I was really moved.
Gratitude is universal. It transcends race, gender, and language. You may not speak the native language, but you understand the action. You understand it, right? And you were moved by it. Listen, if that happens again, I would encourage you to take a video so I can share it.
I did. I'll send it to you.
Would you send it to me? I'd love to share it.
Sure. And then another thing I wanted to just add on was that, there's been a couple of articles that I read that I think that the waters are clearer, I think in Venice or something like that, if I wasn't mistaken. Like they've seen some changes as people are not so much outside. So yesterday, from my balcony, usually all you see is gray skies. The pollution here is really thick. And for the last 2-3 days since we've been in quarantine, you can see the mountains and the sky.
Oh, damn, you're right.
We can see Shimla, the mountains of Manali.
Yeah.
And you usually can't see that from here at all because the contamination is so hardcore. So I was like, and it even looks greener, which is the weirdest thing because if you live in India, you know that the sky here is usually very gray and it's very like muggy. But for the last few days, you can see all the mountains and it's just...
Would you do me a favor, because we can't see it well? Can you tap your screen twice? It'll turn the camera around and we'll get a better view with a more adjusted... Yeah, okay. Now you see, I can see... I can see the haze.
Those mountains that you see at the end out there,
yeah.
that is Shimla and Manali.
Unbelievable.
All this.
Unbelievable.
And usually you cannot see that from here. You can't see it because it's only when it rains like a lot and the smog goes down.
Yeah.
But I couldn't believe it that I could see the mountains. So let me show you. And then if you look down, you're going to see nobody. Usually you see auto rickshaws, motorcycles, cars. You see nobody outside. There's like maybe one car, something, but this is India, so billions of people. There's always a lot of people everywhere. They respect what they've been told, and they're on lockdown.
I am so happy to have heard from you. Thank you. And I love that Puerto Rican flag hanging.
Yeah, Puerto Rico in my heart, sending my best to all the people on the other side.
I love it.
Everywhere. God bless you.
What time is it in India right now?
Right now, 5:21 p.m.
In the afternoon, it is 7:51 in New York. It is bright and early. People are just starting their day. Well, listen, you have a good night, and I'm really happy we got to talk to you.
Thank you, David.
You're
Take
welcome.
care.
Bye-bye. Wow. That was really interesting. This is what I love about this kind of stuff. Like I feel smarter. I feel more worldly just for that little bit of information regarding this. That was cool. Hi.
Hi,
What is your name?
I'm Christina.
Okay. Good morning to you.
Good morning. I'm from San Germán, Puerto Rico, west side.
Herman. Okay. So, what do you want to tell us about your new normal?
Well, I've been kind of cooped up at home for over like a week.
Yep.
I've just gone out for essentials, just like grocery shopping and things like that. And I have to say, people are really taking it seriously. People are very respectful of your space, and it's like a lot of just, selecting what you want rather than touching it before and anything like that.
I never thought about that because you go to the grocery store and everybody's
kind
picking
of
up and putting back and all this.
handle
Like,
everything, right?
yeah,
So you have
right,
to kind of like, okay, well, that's the fruit I want from afar.
right, right. Like, keep your hands off my fruit because I want that, and if you don't
Right.
want it, move on. Right, right.
Yeah, don't breathe on it.
Right.
So,
Stop looking at it. Yeah, yeah.
right.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
been kind of like that. And people are really taking it seriously. Here in San Germán, you can see the streets are empty, and at 9 o'clock, everybody's at home. Definitely, no, you can't hear any cars or anything. And so it's been kind of, it's had a lot of impact on everybody.
It's been abnormal. Somebody said the other day the best thing was my new normal is very abnormal.
Definitely. And I'm an educator, and so
Yeah.
we're trying to deal with the whole education online, like what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so I teach at the local university, at the Inter-American University, so we've been taking like Blackboard certification courses and all those kinds of things. So the universities are definitely kind of scrambling to figure out what to do so that the students can finish their semester. And so we're all kind of figuring out how we're going to continue,
Continue. Yeah.
continue with the semester.
Is that a dog we hear growling?
Oh yeah, they're having a blast.
It's so funny. I mean, that was some major growling in the background. I was like, I assume it's a dog. Mine is sleeping. I tried to take him out to potty, and I opened the gate to his little pen, and he looked at me and didn't move. And I was like, okay, well, if you don't want to come out, we don't have to go out.
They are
Aw.
just playing around.
What
This
are their
is
names?
Peco. This is Peco right here, and then this is Luli. Peco and Luli, they're both Satos.
Good buddies. Good buddies.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you for weighing in from San Germán.
Thank you so much. It was great, really nice talking to you, David.
Oh, you too. Have a good day. Well, the snow has stopped here in New York City. A little rain. Streets are slick.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, it's you again.
Oh, yeah, but I have very interesting.
You have an
My
update.
well, my husband got very sick,
Oh,
so I take him today. Was terrible for me because I had to clean the house, take care of him. For him was completely different. I was looking for the symptoms.
yes.
I called the nurse. He went from he was not coughing. He started feeling dizzy. He's 67.
Okay.
He started feeling dizzy. Yeah, I said, okay. He, I put him in bed. From that temperature went from 102 all the way to 97, back and forth in less than 30 minutes. Yeah, I was okay. This is new. So I called the nurse. He explained everything. She said, oh, I stay home. See he go get sick more, bring to the ER. But he get better. Yeah, I said, okay, it's a normal flu. 3 days passed. Thursday, he went rapidly downhill. He was sick in bed, not moving, lose his appetite. I called the ER. Because I work for the hospital too. I said, hey, what I can do here? He said, keeping him calm, give you lots of fluid. So I give you everything from vitamin C's, vitamin D's, or a smoothie, everything to keep it.
Mm-hmm.
He feel a little better, but by Thursday night, he went completely worse. And
So did you take him to the hospital?
Yeah, I take it to the hospital.
He's there now?
No, they send it home. They give it a test.
Okay. They gave him
had
the
him-
COVID-19 test.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I put him in the other side of the house. I am by myself. So he's on the other side of the house. They say, keep it. The doctor said, well, very interesting is that you don't have it. Yes, how you can tell. It's a,
Right?
you
It may be asymptomatic. You might not know. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so, but they say keep it a distance, be clear.
So
So
when was the test?
Friday night.
Okay, so all right.
I today.
Some people are taking 5 to 6 days to get their results. So
So by today, no, they
yeah.
told me today because I work for the hospital. That is little extra. So they asked me, they're going to help me to get the test today. They
Okay,
say,
good.
see, we not call you, it's me that he not have it. If we call you, it's me that he have it.
Oh, well, that's BS. If I don't have it, I want you to call and tell me I don't have it. I don't. That's not how this works.
I know that is like to
No, it's not how this works. Okay, so is he feeling better?
yes, yesterday
Okay, good.
was yesterday after I did all the very simple thing, give it lots of fluid, lots of hot tea, give it liquid. I've been training. The nurse trained me how to do everything. So you have to keep it with fluid. You have to keep it here warm. Saturday night was the work because he was sweating all night a lot. So I had to switch him twice, watch him, take the bed, everything. In the meantime, I don't know. When you lose somebody, you don't care about anything.
You don't care
help.
about anybody. You help. You're a good caregiver.
Yeah.
You're a
So I
good
was not
caregiver.
with no glove, nothing cleaning.
Oh, well, be careful. Hey, listen, I hope everything turns out all right, and I'm glad he's got you. Glad he wasn't alone.
Yeah. But I want to ask you a question. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. That's very nice of you. I'm good. I have taken this very seriously, and I
Okay.
have shut myself in. I am not going outside, and someone did come inside last night to fix something for me, a maintenance individual, and I stayed more than 6 feet away. So I'm taking this very seriously,
Me
very
too.
seriously. So
You know where I've been noting? I went to take some photography for my, that one is in the
your
letter.
business, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I went to different areas of Oregon.
yes.
It's very interesting what's going on here. The district, the leasing, the district where the people call liberal or democratic, they're very, very, very take care of places. They're very home. They don't go outside. The little rural town, they get the new from I don't know where. Everybody's walking around. Everybody's touching each other. But you not listening the news. If the answer that I have from these people, oh, that's a host. Yeah, I said, no, it's not. But I keep myself because I keep my distance. But I noted that the mentality in different town in Oregon, from the rural to the urban area, yeah, I said, oh, this is not good. People continue going on. So today we go find out the governor said, because a lot of people start complaining, said you have to make all this town to respect. Because they went to the park, they went to the beach, so all this little town in the coast, send their note and the news said, you no can come here. So they close the town in Cano Beach in Oregon. They send their letter says, you coming here, you go be arrested.
You're gonna be arrested. Yeah. Listen, I think you're onto something, Miguel. And I don't want to make any of this political, but it is interesting when you go around and you see those who are totally following it and believe what the medical doctors are saying, and then there are those who are the doubters and the skeptics. And the reality is everybody has a right to feel how they want. You do not have a right to put other people at risk and in jeopardy. That is not a right that you have, and that is why we are being asked to be socially responsible. But here in New York, they have the authority to arrest you and put you in jail. In Puerto Rico, they have. I mean, if I'm remembering correctly from the article I saw, I think they've arrested almost 100 people in Puerto Rico. Like, they ain't playing around. The governor is not playing around. And so anyway, listen, I send my best to you and your husband, and I thank you for weighing in, and have a wonderful day. You look warm and cozy at home.
Oh yeah, I have to here in my own place, my healthy place.
Good.
But thank you very much for you doing letter with a letter. because you did something in my life that nobody did.
What's that?
Yeah. Well, I was distant from Puerto Rico due to I lost my family there, almost
Yeah.
all my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really very upset
Yeah.
because I feel like when I was there, I was rejected. Who I
Okay.
was.
Okay.
But when you present Puerto Rico, you have to listen to you. It's like you have to open my heart for forgive them for what happened to me there. You
Wow.
have to reaching out to the island through you because you showed me forgive, help. Is that what because really it take me 20 years to go back to the island because the memories that happened to me there, you don't want to know.
Are
So
painful.
very painful. But through you, I decided to reach my family. You show me the island again.
Wow.
When you show me who they are, I said, "This is my family." So I reached to them. If they reached back to me, it was starting communicating. I have a memory of the good time while on the island. It was you, through you, that
I am
happened.
so deeply moved by hearing that story. I'm so deeply moved by hearing that story. Thank you for sharing it with me. And you remind me of the responsibility that I have. You remind me of that responsibility. And you know, when I tell people, when they say to me, why do you keep talking about Puerto Rico? That seems to be one of the only things you talk about. And I say to them, because I feel a sense of responsibility to not let them down. And this is an example of what I mean. This is an example of a story that I would have otherwise never known. But if, as you're saying, it
Well,
reunites you with people who loved you and
mhm.
who you love, that's a beautiful thing. That's a
Yeah,
beautiful thing.
you did that. Thank you.
Well, well,
You became my guardian.
I don't, no, 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 I don't know what to say. I mean, that's powerful. And thank you for sharing it with me. I appreciate it. I
But
appreciate it.
thank you to you.
Okay, Miguel. Bye. Wow. That's, that's some, that's some heavy stuff. That's some heavy stuff.
Hi, David. How are you?
Good morning. We've talked before, yeah?
No, it's first time.
Well, you kind of have a familiar face.
Oh, thank you.
What's your name?
My name is Mariola.
Where are
I'm,
you in the world?
I'm from Puerto Rico, but I live in Spain, in Madrid.
Okay, now I want to know what's happening in Madrid. Please tell me.
Yes. So I've been quarantined for 13 days now.
Okay.
The numbers keep going up,
Yeah.
and things aren't seeming to slow down. Everything is going so fast. It's scary.
It's really it's frightening. It's
Scary.
frightening. Um, you've been inside for how many days?
13.
And you've not gone out at all?
I went to the supermarket, but
Okay.
that's about it.
Okay. Um, do people seem to be taking it seriously?
Yes. You only see in the street people walking their dogs and people going to the pharmacy or the supermarket. That's
Are
all you see in the streets.
you
And people
feel
working.
you feel okay physically?
Yes. Yes.
How
Yes.
are you mentally?
Well, I bother my family every day, every time of the day. I call them and I talk to everyone, my friends back home, and I kind of keep up with Puerto Rico time because I'm trying to sleep it, the quarantine sleep it, so it goes faster. And play music, studying, and doing puzzles, whatever I can find to put my hands and to keep busy.
Puzzles. You know what's funny? I am not a puzzle person, but when I do a puzzle, I actually enjoy it. And a puzzle would be fun. A puzzle would be fun. It's
Yeah,
random, but would be fun.
it's
Um,
entertaining. Hours go fast.
what's the news saying? about the situation. I mean, I've seen some of the headlines, and it it's frightening. But I did hear one of your health ministers say it appears as though they believe they may be on the edge of sort of that curve, which sort of starts to drop and makes the cases more manageable. What are you hearing?
So they told us a few days ago, and yesterday they told us that the quarantine is gonna be another 15 more days,
15.
and that this is gonna be the hardest week. It's gonna be the worst week, and after that, they believe it's gonna get better.
Hmm. What do you do for a living? Are you a student? Are you in work,
I'm
or
a
what do you do?
student.
Okay, what are you studying?
Fashion management.
Okay, somebody's asking what part of Spain. She said earlier she is in Madrid. How long have you been there?
7 months.
And where are you from on the island of Puerto Rico?
Guaynabo.
Guaynabo, of course. Your mom and daddy must be checking on you all the time.
Yes. I was supposed to travel that Friday after Trump's announcement, but when I heard that the flight was all booked up and it was full, I was saying I'm not gonna get on that flight. People might be sick. I don't want to get that home to get my parents sick. My parents are 68, and they can get sick easily, and it's not something I want to have in my mind that I got them sick. And here in Madrid, at least, they're not taking care of the older people. After 65, they're just not helping you.
What?
And it's sad. Yeah.
What?
They're putting tranquilizantes to relax you, but they're taking out of the things for breathing and everything and give it to the younger people.
What?
Yeah.
How have I not heard? How have I not heard that?
That's all the stories I've heard. And the WhatsApp
On the
videos, and stuff.
on the news?
No, they will never say that in the news.
Okay, so here's the thing, and I certainly don't mean to insult you, but we just have to be careful when we say stuff like that because unless it's firsthand and unless it's official information, I always have to be very careful. You know what I mean? Because I have a responsibility.
Yeah.
No. I hear you, and it may be absolutely right, but especially in a time like this, where we're dealing with a pandemic, I have to be very careful, right, about what is shared. So that's interesting. I want to look into it because we had heard that, well, not only had I heard, I read where officials in Italy were actually talking and advising doctors there to adopt a wartime protocol, which a wartime protocol is exactly what you're saying, evaluating who can likely survive and who cannot, and prioritizing them. So again, I want to read more about that because I had not heard it, and like, holy moly, wow.
I heard it like 2 days ago, and I was just crying, and I called my parents. I'm like, please don't go out of the house. I don't want this or anything to happen to you guys because you guys are 68, and I don't want that to happen to my parents. I still need them.
I hear you. I want to read this to everybody because I just opened my Twitter. Frances Robles is a reporter for the New York Times, and she just tweeted, yesterday a New York woman reached out to me because her dad got COVID-19 while on vacation in Puerto Rico, and she was having trouble getting updates on his condition. That was at 5:30 p.m. By 11:30 p.m., he had died. So, yep. So, anyway, well, listen, I thank you for weighing in from Madrid. I think you're the first person. No, maybe there was a second person, but you're one of very few who we've spoken to from Madrid. So it's good to get an eyewitness report from the scene.
Thank you. Thank you for choosing me.
Oh, you bet. Have a good day.
You too. Take care.
Hi.
Hi. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Never thought.
Well, surprise. What's your name?
Nancy,
Hi, Nancy. Where are you in the world?
I'm in Puerto Rico, Aguadilla, Puerto Rico.
Aguadilla. Are you at work or are you at home?
I'm working.
What type of work do you do?
I'm gonna take a photo of this.
Okay.
Federal government.
What type of work do you do?
I work immigration, ICE.
ICE. Okay.
Mhm.
I want to ask you a question since you're a frontline worker. The president was asked yesterday whether ICE is rounding people up at hospitals and that kind of stuff. You work for ICE, and the president said yesterday that actually it was the vice president who said, no, we're not going to go to hospitals and ask for status. And then the president said, I don't want us doing that. If people need to get checked, is that the truth? Is that what you're seeing? What are y'all doing and not doing?
Well, actually, I work ICE. I'm a deportation officer, so I work out of the office.
Yeah.
But I did hear that I heard when the president said that, and that we're not going to go. Well, I don't go to the street. You see, I work in office. I work with the cases that are already here. But yeah, they said that no hospitals, because they want everyone to go in and, and they feel bad to go in sick. If they feel sick to go in and they don't want our people to be afraid because they're illegal or anything like that. So, we should be getting an email or something soon about that. Yeah.
This is very important to hear, and I'm glad you said it. Hey, my Instagram police people, when are we going to get cut off? 5 minutes? Okay, we got 5 minutes. So tell me, what's your new normal? What do you want us to know?
Well, my new normal, like over here in my office, what they did was like they said they want a skeleton crew. So we're working, like I work today, then I won't work for 2 days, and I'll come back to work. And my normal is just being in my house. That's it.
Do you feel worried being a caseworker inside? Do you come in contact with people who have been detained? No. So you're just doing paperwork?
Yeah.
Okay,
I do
so
paperwork, the system, and I work with files. Yeah.
so you could.
We have a CBP office here, Border Patrol, right here in Aguadilla too. They're the ones that go in contact, on the border when they're coming through the beach or something. They're the ones that really come in contact with them.
So you can social distance from people.
Yes, that's what
Gotcha.
I'm doing, right? Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Everybody tell me about your friends and family. Are they taking this seriously?
Yes, my nephew yesterday, my nephew has 2 cute babies that I love very, very much. And he says, Titi, he calls me Titi. I'm going to keep my daughters home for a while. I
Good.
said, I understand. We'll FaceTime and I'll see them.
Good.
And my nephew's working, one of them works in San Juan in the Pepsi company. He's taking temperatures.
Oh, he
Yeah.
is at
Yeah.
the Pepsi company.
Yeah. He works
Uh-huh.
there, and what he does is he has to be in, before they go into the company, he takes their temperature.
Understood.
Yeah. I tell him be very careful.
Nancy from Aguadilla.
Yeah, in the house.
Nice to
I,
talk to you, love.
oh my God, it was nice talking to you. I can't even believe it. I appreciate you so much. I mean, I talk with my nephew and I say, I try to figure out why he loves Puerto Rico so much. I mean, I know we're a beautiful island and we're nice people and lovable people. And I said, oh my God, I think maybe in another life or something, he was Puerto Rican.
You know
We
why?
appreciate you so much.
You know why? Because I saw human suffering and pain closer than most people will ever see in their life. And
Yes.
when you see that kind of, it's the same reason why if you saw someone in pain and it literally moved you to the point where you could never forget about them, you probably would keep in touch with them forever. That's what the situation is. That's why. That it's as simple as that.
No, but you're special because a lot of
Oh.
people have come here and news reporters from everywhere and everything. But you really I don't know how to say, you stuck to us. For me, you're just like Puerto Rican too. We
Well,
love
thank
you here a lot. You don't even know. You don't
Thank you,
even know.
Thank you, Nancy.
Number one reporter for us.
I enjoyed my time in Aguadilla. I want to get back. I love when people say Aguadilla because you hit that in Aguadilla, right? As a D.
Aguadilla,
Adilla, it kind of flies at the end. I love
yeah.
it.
About what
Uh,
was worrying me a little about Aguadilla was because we have an airport right here,
yeah.
and that had me a little worried because I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh my God, the airport is right here. We have a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of people from Florida coming in and
yeah.
whatever. But now I heard that they're taking temperatures and they're taking other measures. So,
Good,
that's a relief.
good. Well, Nancy, you get the final word. I'm going to take Paddington out to potty.
I love Paddington. I love you too. Take care, David. We
Bye,
need you.
Nancy. You too,
Bye.
love. Okay, so we'll take Paddington out to potty, and then I'll come back in, and we will start anew. So join us. It is 9 o'clock on the East Coast, and Paddington and I are awake. I was up early for CBS this morning, and now I'm in position to do more of this with all of you. So we'll give people a chance to get on, and then we will get started. Give me the ball. I'll throw it for you. I'm not trying to shake your hand. I'm not trying to shake. I've been playing throw the ball with Paddington, and I threw it this morning, and because I'm in an apartment and, not a ton of room. We have a nice, it's a nice size, but not a ton. I threw it, and I hit a couple of bottles of water on my kitchen cabinet, kitchen countertop, and they fell and busted into a million little pieces. So, yeah, needless to say, took a minute to clean all that up. Okay, so I think we are ready. Good morning to all of you. I was up early, so I thought we would get going with at least one that we could start doing. We already did one at 7:30, 8:30. Now we're back. Hi. Good morning. What's your name?
I'm Ashley.
Oh, Ashley, we talked before.
Yeah, but a lot of things have changed here in the state of Maryland.
Okay, so I want an update from you. You are the, let me see if I get this right. You're at home. You worked at a hotel. You got laid off. You work in HR, right?
Yeah, I was the
Okay.
furloughed. I work in
Furloughed, right?
I don't work in a major hotel, but I work in front of it.
Right.
Remember the White House Correspondents' Dinner Hotel?
Right across from it. Yep, got it.
So recently, the governor of the state of Maryland, Larry Hogan, has initiated the state guard. They are
Yep.
now using the two NFL stadiums.
Right, I heard that.
Washington
Okay.
Redskins and
Yeah.
the Baltimore Ravens. They're using their parking lots for patients. One's just in Baltimore City and one's just outside of the district.
Okay.
Also, the mayor of Washington, D.C. A lot of people in D.C. are not social distancing. They are just out and about, and they're not essential personnel. And they just shut down access to the tidal basin where our cherry blossoms are, as well as the Lincoln and Jefferson Memorial.
Yeah, because people were going to see those cherry blossoms.
It
Hello,
was
not a good
packed.
idea.
Very packed. They shut down the National Harbor,
Yeah.
and they also shut down the wharf, which is the Southwest waterfront
Yep.
that we have. And then in Fredericksburg, Virginia, they're using this parking garage for patients as well. Maryland has the highest out of DC, Maryland, Virginia. And then our unemployment site has crashed for the state of Maryland.
Wow, this has been like a great report from Maryland. I mean, this is like a frontline report. Okay, well,
So, like,
that
obviously,
is,
our health insurance is
Yeah.
going to expire April 1st. And a lot of people are getting jerked around from the state of Maryland. Obviously, we have a lot of counties, 23 counties in the state of Maryland. And we're having, like me specifically, I'm having, so I live in Howard. I live near NSA. And I'm having a lot of outside Howard County, Maryland state employees giving me the jerk around, saying that you're going to get paid more money. You're going to get paid, like my last check was March 20th, which was this past Friday. They're like, oh, you're going to get another check. I'm like, oh, unless Trump is delivering it to my house, I don't know what other check you think I'm getting. And it's just been back and forth every day since we talked. I think we talked last Saturday, just after the lady from Fordham University, that professor.
Yes, Jackie. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boca Pix, I think is her.
Boca Pix. That's correct. Yeah.
So every day I've been corresponding with a state of Maryland employee for
Mm-hmm.
Medicaid.
Mm.
And they're saying that, oh, according to your paycheck, you're making way too much money for Medicaid.
Mm.
I'm like, well, my last check was the 20th. Please let
Mm.
me know which other check I'm getting.
Right.
But it's been bad here. In Howard County, we've had 2 5-year-olds rushed from the local county hospital to shock trauma in Baltimore City
Mm.
because they got caught. School is out until the 30th of March, but I highly doubt that Howard County schools are going back.
Yeah. I think, the next round of reality will come when these 2-week and 3-week curfews are set to expire, and the governors then have to go out and say, well, it's for another 3, but look, I think for the most part, the federal government, for the most part, and the local government has kind of been getting people ready for it. I don't know that it's going to come as a giant shock to U.S. citizens when the leaders come back out and say, we got to do this for longer. Listen, I'm glad you weighed in. Thank you for all of that important information from Maryland. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Nice to talk to you again.
See ya.
Bye-bye. It's like we got reporters in the field. They'll turn this town hall into eyewitness reporters. What are you crying about? You watching TV? What are you crying about? You watching TV? Yes, the second death was just confirmed in Puerto Rico. That is correct. It involved an elderly man in his 70s who was on vacation in Puerto Rico with his wife, and he passed away. Get the ball. Hello.
Hi,
Hi, what is your name?
Rain Reyes.
Hi, where are you in the world?
Well, right now in Maryland,
Okay.
Waldorf, Maryland.
Okay. Tell me about your new normal.
It's kind of rough here. I'm here with my granddaughter Ava. She's on her
Hello, Miss
iPad.
Ava, cutie.
I have 11 grandchildren, and it's pretty rough out here for the kids. We're trying to do our best, scheduling school at home. I've gone to the supermarket. They're getting a little better. Still kind of down on the bread. My daughter's about to have her first baby. Very sad for me. I won't be able to be in New York. They're not allowing anyone when she gives birth.
Oh,
and the baby
my.
shower was canceled.
Oh,
Very sad. So it's very emotional for me.
yeah.
And my other daughter is a nurse out here in Maryland.
Okay.
And they still don't have anything to protect themselves,
Mm.
And so far where she's at, they have not have anyone with the virus.
Okay, good. Okay. Ooh,
So pretty
Lord.
much,
You got worries
I
in New
still
York,
see,
worries in elsewhere.
I have 6 children, so I have 2 in New York, 2 in Maryland, and 2 in California.
That's what happens when you have that many kids. You got 6 different worries.
My oldest son is an engineer,
Yeah.
self-contractor, so I'm very concerned for him about his income because
Sure.
here we go again.
Sure.
They're putting us on a scale of what you make and not make. So I
Are you
also
staying
noticed,
inside primarily?
yes, I am.
Please tell me you are.
Um,
Okay, good.
I only go out to the store when I need to. I try
Okay.
to get what I can, but
Good.
last week was very rough for me. It took me at least 4 hours going to different stores in different cities to try to get things.
Oof, 4
The problem
hours.
I see still, people are not staying home. There's still, my daughter tells me in New York that as she's driving by the bars, some bars are still open where they have the doors closed, but you could see people in there with the lights on,
Yeah,
hanging
that's
out.
not good. If the city finds out about that, or the county, whatever, I mean,
I see
they
1 or 2 of my friends going to the beach in Florida, which is very disappointing. So I had to put them on social media and point their finger out to them. Shame on them.
shame them. Let me tell you something. That's turned into a real thing. People are using social media to shame others into doing the right thing. I've seen it. Puerto Ricans are. I mean, there are people like in Rincon and other places who are, you know, like, and they're kind of flaunting it, like, oh, coronavirus, like, somebody posted, hey, Paddington, what are you doing? Somebody posted coronavirus, whatever, call the police on me, like as if, you know, give you the middle finger. So
Yeah, they are. They think they're invincible, and it's very frustrating.
it is.
You know, and I know eventually it's going to get worse, and we just need to figure out what we're going to do with the children, with their education, how we're going to get the system going. And it's changing. It's a whole different world out there now. It's really scary.
It sure is, my dear, and I think many things will be forever different once this is over. Listen, thank you for weighing in. I appreciate the perspective from Maryland.
David, you have done a wonderful job. I've been following you, especially when you went to Puerto Rico. I am Puerto Rican, and my heart goes to you. And keep going and doing what you do best. I truly, truly love you.
Thank you, my
and
dear.
you do a wonderful job. Thank you.
I received that, and I thank you for it. Bye-bye. Patty cakes. All right, somebody's asking about New Orleans. So I want to bring in Kevin, who is on here. Let's see if he answers. I don't know if he's still on. Kevin is still on.
Hey, David.
How are you? So somebody was asking what the situation is in New Orleans, and I saw your comment where you said people are not getting it.
Well, I hate to say it, but I'm one of them, too.
Kevin.
David, my hair, I haven't even done my hair yet.
That's all right. Listen, the only reason I look somewhat presentable is because I had to be on TV this morning. What do you mean when you say I'm one of them?
Look, New Orleanians, you know how Louisianians are. We are social people. It is not going to be easy for people to behave like the entire country of Italy has been forced to. We don't have balconies where we can play tennis across the balcony. I've been watching that one because I'm a tennis player. I love that. But, man, I mean, I live in a very, very busy street by City Park and Esplanade Avenue. And I'm watching people walk their dogs all day long. I live across the street from a restaurant where there constantly people are supporting them, and I love that. But I think it's going to be close to impossible for people to completely stay indoors.
Okay, so I've said to folks, the way to get people to comply is to present them with facts. So for everybody watching, Kevin probably knows some of this. If he doesn't, he'll learn. But let me present you with some of the facts. Louisiana, according to Dr. Rebecca Gee, who is the head of the LSU health system, which is the university system in the state, says that Louisiana is on par to become the epicenter of the coronavirus pandemic in the United States. Why? Because when you look at cases per capita, Louisiana has the fastest spread of any country in the world. Listen to that. The governor said faster than any country in the world. 2 weeks ago, Louisiana had 0 cases that they knew of. As of yesterday, they were closing in on 900. And New Orleans is the hotspot. Why? They believe it's in part because of Mardi Gras. About a month ago, there were a bunch of people there. Nobody was sort of paying attention. We weren't talking about it. And Dr. Gee said it could have spread not only with social contact, but with people throwing beads and retrieving beads and that kind of stuff. So, you know, look, Kevin, you're a healthy guy. You play tennis and you do all that stuff. I mean, the reality is, you know, and I've invoked my family a couple of times because God love them, they're not going to see this. But, you know, it took a minute for me to get my dad to kind of, you know, there were the phone calls where it was like, no, and like, no, well, I don't know, you know, like, but now he has fallen in line, right? Has fallen in line. And you are sitting in the middle of a hotbed right now.
Tell me about it. I watch the news every day. When I saw that graphic that the governor put on television, that Louisiana has the highest growth rate per capita in the world.
The world.
The world. It's unbelievable. I mean, I believe it. I completely believe it. I know it. Listen, I came back from Venice. I started in Carnival.
Oh, that's right. You were in Venice. Right.
And, man, the Saturday before, I have never been in a more crowded environment in my life. And I've grown up in New Orleans. I've done every Mardi Gras my entire life. I could not stand because it was so close. So it doesn't surprise me that that part of Italy was the epicenter for Italy, and it's spread all over the country because Italians, just like Louisianians, are very, very social and expressive people.
But can I give you a little bit of inspiration? So are Puerto Ricans. And you know what?
Right.
Not 100% compliance, but from what I'm seeing from a lot of people, they're complying. And now the governor has cracked down. I mean, that lady has cracked down. She basically has locked down the island, except if you go to the grocery store, the bank, or the doctor.
You talking about Wanda Vasquez?
I'm talking about Wanda Vasquez. I love that you even know the how do you know the name of the governor of Puerto Rico?
Because I follow you all the time.
Okay, fair. But Puerto Rico is an example of a people who, by the way, Kevin, I tell people all the time, I think that's why I relate to them so much, is because that spirit that defines us as Louisianians is very alive in them. And the people of Puerto Rico, are, from what I can tell, largely complying. Yeah, you got the troublemakers and the fools, but they're largely complying. So if they can do it, there's hope.
I hope so. I hope so. Listen, and I'm learning, because I'm a slow learner when it comes to that. And I think most of us who have that spirit are going to have a difficult time staying indoors and alone and living on my couch. It's been rough. And I mean, I've been doing it, but not 100%.
You're not a slow learner. You're just stubborn.
Very stubborn. Very stubborn. So the whole 10 people rule that the governor said you can't be around 10
right. Right.
So I drove out to my friends who live in the lakefront, and the three of us had dinner together. And I did get tested for the coronavirus after I got back, actually a week ago, because a friend that I was in Italy with, she tested positive without having any symptoms. And that's what's so scary. Wow. She had no symptoms. She does, well, I'm not going to reveal anything more than that, but she's thank God she's safe and she's recovering from it. But I did get tested out of an abundance of caution. And my friends were worried about it too, because it started in Venice, then Mardi Gras, New Orleans. And, but
oh my God, you were hot spot after hot spot. Yeah.
In the middle of it all. I still have my costume out. You want to see it?
Oh my Lord, please, of course.
Okay, the tape I wore. Look. It's beautiful. David.
We take Mardi Gras seriously, y'all. We take it seriously.
I haven't put my costume away. I don't want to.
Well, I'm surprised you don't have a Mardi Gras tree. Like, turn a Christmas tree into a Mardi Gras tree.
Listen, I have a Musa shoe collection that my friend Linda Floyd made. Oh wait, can you see it? So
yes.
Down. So that's her.
Yes.
Purple. That's Joe Burrow, and on the back.
Love that.
Is Musa 2020 with the LSU Tigers.
Love that.
Your dad will love it too.
So for somebody who said New York Times is reporting that New York is the epicenter of the pandemic, understand the context here. We're talking about the epicenter per capita. In other words, Louisiana has far less people, but their spread, when you compare it to New York in terms of how many, New York's got, I think the governor said close to 19 million people. So they have 3 and 4 times but New York's spread per capita is growing faster than anywhere in the world. And they are behind, Louisiana is behind only New York and I believe California. So it's a very serious situation in Louisiana. And, you don't have it now, but you still could get it. I know you get it. I know you know. So
somebody asked, how did I get a test without having any symptoms? And it's because that, so I did a telehealth video, and they're very strict about it here. The only way you can get a test is if you have symptoms and you have any underlying health conditions. I don't really have any. I have seasonal asthma, and I felt a little short of breath. So I did a telehealth video with a physician. I asked him all these questions. I didn't have any fever. I had some body aches. Who knows? I have a strong immune system and maybe warded off the virus. But because I was in close proximity to
someone who tested positive.
I got bumped. They approved for me to go for the drive-through parking lot across the river. And let me tell you, I am a healthcare provider, or I was a practicing healthcare provider. These men and women who are they're absolute angels on earth.
I agree.
So
I agree.
Professional. That experience was amazing, and very professional, very quick, but thorough and caring. It's just amazing. That spirit is well, and it is doing very well here.
Some heroes wear white coats and scrubs.
They do. And last thing, I have a friend who is a nurse at a hospital downtown, and there's nothing downtown, so I'm not going to say it. He described it as a war zone. He described it as a war zone. People that are that have tested positive, that aren't on a vent yet, but are about to be intubated. He said it's scary and it's horrifying. It's like he's never been in a war, but I know. I'm scared to death of our healthcare workers.
I have a story that I did for CBS this morning that I'll post online soon. I interviewed the husband of a 44-year-old lawyer who is a marathon runner. He is in great shape, and he's on a ventilator at a New York City hospital right now.
Right.
So conversely, and I've been telling this story, conversely, I interviewed an 87-year-old Marine in Puerto Rico who's about to get discharged from the hospital because he survived COVID-19 despite having emphysema in one lung, a leaky heart valve, and 3 other things that make him the ideal case of being at highest risk. And he survived, never was on a ventilator, never was unconscious. So... yeah,
this is a mysterious little bug, a very mysterious bug.
Yeah. Listen, I'm so glad you were available. Thanks for the context from New Orleans.
You're welcome. Anytime.
All right, Kevin. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so moving on.
Oh, the other back. Now, hi.
Hi, what is your name?
Oh, my name is Lemuel Rios.
Nice to meet you. Where are you?
Right now I'm living in Mayagüez, Puerto Rico.
Mayagüez. Okay, you want to tell us about your new normal?
Of course. Right now I'm a student at the University of Puerto Rico at Mayagüez.
Yeah.
I'm studying industrial engineering and doing a basis of health sciences to get to work in the health field, maybe as a biomedical engineer or as a doctor at the same time.
Okay.
So right now my normal is to study at my house or clean around or help my mom. My mom, she works a day, from 8 to 12 in a hospice / they provide medical ventilators, medical devices and hand sanitizers to other people, and it's really enclosed, so she's not in contact with many people. And at the same time, today is my last study day, because tomorrow we start the online classes at the university, but I stay at home.
You stay at home. Okay.
Yes.
How are you? How old are you?
I'm 19 years old.
How are you processing all of this?
It's kind of, it's been one thing from another, because at the same time, when it came out from Wuhan, I didn't expect to spread this quickly. And at the same time, it's something new to me and new to many people like you. It's a whole new generation, because we didn't pass through a pandemic. So it's something I'm processing it at the same time while we're passing through the pandemic. I'm focusing on that the governments around the world, and mostly Puerto Rico, need to fund more to the health sector and the health system around.
I agree with you. And I think, you know what, when this is all said and done, and it will be done, we will get past it. I believe there is going to be a correction when it comes to properly funding. Because you know what? Pandemics are things we heard about in the movies. And
of course.
We're living one right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the Contagion movie.
Correct.
And one thing that I want to mention too, and it's connected to my university, is that they should advance the pharmaceutical industries here in Puerto Rico, because in the future, for example, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, or other companies can work on the vaccines and other potential markups for the advancements on the coronavirus attacks.
Puerto Rico is a global leader when it comes to having a manufacturing and pharmaceutical industry that is robust and ready to go. The buildings are there. Puerto Ricans work in the plants. They are ready to go. And so the government of Puerto Rico, and the Financial Oversight and Management Board, which oversees Puerto Rico's finances because the island filed for bankruptcy and the board was imposed on the island by Congress. That board has written a letter to the White House saying, please let us help you by getting these manufacturing places ramped up and going, you know?
Of course, yeah.
So that's a good point. Listen, thank you for weighing in from Mayagüez.
Thank you. I think
Lost you. Say that again.
thank you for everything that you've done for Puerto Rico and
Oh.
for always exposing the youth.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I have a lot of respect for you guys because you know what? You and Gio, who we talked to last night, and a 19-year-old gentleman in Pennsylvania who works at a supermarket and told us what he's trying to do and taking care of his grandmother. I've just been so impressed by talking to people your age. I mean, you are aware of what's going on. You get it. I'm just stinking proud of y'all. So there you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice to talk to you.
Have a nice day.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay. It's not that young people can't be nice. I'm not suggesting that young people can't be nice or they're crazy. You know, they're all idiots. But to see people at that age, plugged in, wise. It's awesome. Okay, somebody said something about a police officer being on here. If he's still on here, I'd like to talk to him. So let me know. Like, write in the comments below who this police officer is, and I'm more than happy to bring him in. Hi.
Hi,
What is your name?
my name is Nick. I'm
Hi,
in
Nick.
Aguadilla, Puerto Rico.
Aguadilla. Okay. What is your new normal?
Well, my new normal is adjusting every day. I moved here from Idaho in July. And so I'm working from home. I have a few friends here, but I'm by myself in my house. That's it.
What kind of work do you do?
I work for a mortgage company.
Okay, so you can do that remotely and from home.
Yes.
Understood. You're new to the island. Are you Puerto Rican?
I am not.
Okay, so how does it feel to be on the island in a place that is fairly new to you in the middle of a total and complete lockdown?
You know, I'll be honest, it is a little scary because, you know, that the saying, do you know what it feels like to be alone on an island? Like, you know, there's 3.5 million people here, but essentially, you know, I am by myself. My family's in Idaho and in southern Indiana. So it's tough, but you know, everybody here is so friendly. You know, I just have so much respect for these people and so thankful to be here and be a part of. I just feel lucky to be here and going through it with these people that respect, not that other people don't respect what's going on, but they really do understand hard times with Maria and the earthquakes, and they get it. So
they are disaster survival experts.
Yes,
that's what they are.
Yep.
Nick, thank you for weighing in Aguadilla.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you for all that you do. I always watch your videos. It's not being a Spanish speaker. Getting news sometimes is difficult. So thank you for all that you do. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, and I'll continue to do it.
Thanks.
All right, Nick, take care. Bye-bye. Hey, what's up? Okay. You want to just leave it with the doorman? That would be, yeah, please. I'll call you when I get off of here. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Okay, so I think we identified who the police officer is.
Hi.
Hi.
I saw you were asking for a cop, so I'm a state cop here in Puerto Rico.
In Puerto Rico. What is your
Yeah.
name?
My name is Mariela.
Hello. Where are you based?
I'm from Guaynabo. I work in San Juan.
Then one. Okay,
Yeah.
so you work for the state police.
Yes. Me and my
Okay.
husband.
You and your husband. Okay, so tell me, because part of your job is to enforce this executive order, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of compliance rate
I
are
mean,
you seeing?
a lot of people are like taking it seriously, but my husband works 12 hours a day. And like every single night around 9 p.m., I call him and he's like, well, just give me a minute. I got someone arrested already. I'm like, oh my God, seriously?
Arrested for violating the curfew?
Yeah. Yeah. It always happens like around 9, 10. But then after that, he's like, yeah, I'm bored. Or the people that he stops are like doctors, nurses, things like that. So
Who are essential workers who are allowed to be out under the governor's executive order.
Yeah.
But I bet he spends a lot of time pulling over people who are okay being out, right?
Yeah. Some of
Yeah.
them, I mean, you do arrest them, but you give them a citation to go to court, maybe in April or May, and they just go about their night.
Right.
So
Okay, so they're not actually handcuffing them and taking them to jail.
no, I mean, you do handcuff them. You take them to the precinct, do all the paperwork, the citation, and then you let them go.
Oh, okay, got it.
It
So
depends on the situation, because I know I have read there some people like get aggressive and things like that, or maybe there's something else going on, so they do leave them at the precinct and then they consult the other day.
So are you a street cop? Like, are you actually on patrol?
As of right now, I'm not. Because I had a baby like a while ago. She's like walking around here. She's like playing.
I love. Look at those cheeks.
He's once. But I mean, as
Those
of right
boys.
now, I'm not on the street. But he works nights. I work during the day. I have my baby. My
Yeah.
mother takes care of her. So it's been kind of crazy.
Now, where is your husband right now?
He's sleeping.
He's sleeping. I was about to say I'd love to interview him, but we do not want to wake him up.
Oh,
No,
he gets home like around 4:30 a.m. maybe.
Yeah.
So he sleeps through maybe like 11. He always makes fun of me because he was like, one day I'm going to wake up and, be talking to David. Oh, like hair done and all that. And I'm like, no, I look like this.
Well, tell him he missed his chance.
Yeah, I know. Maybe tomorrow. He gets free finally tomorrow. So he's going to work tonight and then tomorrow. He's going to be free finally.
Tomorrow. Good. Well, nice to chat with you.
You too. Thank you. Have a nice day.
You're welcome. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi,
Hi, what is your name?
I'm Nicole.
Nice to meet you. Where are you in the world?
I'm from Carolina, Puerto Rico.
Carolina, are you there right now?
Yeah, I'm at home.
Okay. You rocking some cool glasses there.
Thank you.
So what do you want us to know about your new normal?
Well, I'm a teacher here in Puerto Rico. I teach in Loiza. So right now I'm doing online remote classes. We're teaching from Monday to Thursday classes online for our students.
How many of your students have access to both a computer and the Wi-Fi that is needed to participate?
80% of the students.
80%. That's a pretty good rate.
Yeah, but we're using Classroom, Google Classroom and Google Meet, so they can use their cell phones if they don't have a tablet or a computer.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, they use the cell phone, and I go live from 9 to 12, like 45.
Mm-hmm.
So I do 2 classes. I'm a science teacher, so I do 2 classes, and I like merge what is happening today with the coronavirus to my science classes.
Oh, I love that. So you're taking the real world science and putting it in. Oh, see, that is fantastic. That is fantastic.
Yeah, tomorrow we're doing a live, we're using the live map, the Bing map that is like having the cases all around the world.
Yeah.
So they're gonna choose a country and they're gonna evaluate it for 3 days, and they're gonna see if the rate goes up or it goes down or stuff like that.
I just feel like that's valuable learning. I just remember being a student. You would learn about other stuff that you know, it was like, okay, we got to learn about it. But every time we got to learn about something that was actually happening today, I would get so excited.
Yeah.
So this is great. This is great. Well, I just have one last question for you. You've told
Yeah.
us about the professional. I'd like to ask you about the personal. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing good. You know, I have a sister here that goes to the University of Puerto Rico, so she's doing online classes too. My dad works at the port. So we're doing basically, you know, like getting to the normal, you know. I'm not. We're doing like yes. After yesterday, we were watching like concerts online from some of the artists of Puerto Rico, and we're like doing games. I'm preparing classes. You know, stuff that you know we're getting like used to it, sort of.
You're
But
surviving. You're surviving.
yeah, that's the new normal, and we're like my mom goes to my grandparents' house because she needs to take care of them. So
Yeah.
she goes out only for that, and if we need to go to the supermarket, it's like only the necessary stuff.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, listen, thank you for weighing in from Carolina. Just an update. There was a lady who died in Carolina who
Yeah,
had symptoms of coronavirus. She was tested for it after her death,
yeah.
and the test came back negative. So that's just an important update for all of you.
Thank you for what you're doing for us. Really, it's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good
Bye.
day. Bye-bye.
You too.
Hello,
Hello. What is your name?
Eduardo. How are
Hi.
you?
I'm well. Thank you. Where are you in the world?
I am in Fort Lauderdale in the beautiful Broward County.
Okay. Tell us about your new normal.
Well, it's weird. I've been here living 2 years. I actually left Puerto Rico after Maria. Uh, I'm a retail employee. I used to work in the Sawgrass Mills. They closed that location about on Thursday, I believe.
Sawgrass Mills, just for everybody who doesn't know, is a giant mall area.
Yeah, but I was actually moving, changing jobs just that week, all the way in another store, and our employer, like, luckily, and at the same time, like, one gets worried about it, like the future of the employment, decided to keep us home for the time being. It's like, yeah, you get maybe 2 weeks. We don't know as of right now if we're gonna get more than 2 weeks pay. But here, what's in the news? Maybe a little bit worried. I think that the biggest thing, I don't know if people are in the same mindset as I am, but the thing that worries me the most is that right now is when politicians start like not thinking about maybe their job and more in their still in their party or their political lines or whatever. And it's kind of worry. Maybe I don't know, the news is what they're covering, but not a lot of people are thinking about where we're going to go from now. Like, is it going to get better? Are we going to get any reliefs for people, or are they going to put corporations first? All those things like just run through my mind.
So the Congress is working out some things they haven't been able to agree on yet, but some financial aid that would go to companies, small businesses, and people like you and I, right? So private citizens, in terms of actually getting checks into people's hands. So that is and we may get some type of update on that today or tomorrow. What do you think of the way your leaders in Florida are handling things?
Well, I believe it's, I I'm not a full 100% believer that we should like close everything. Right now, yesterday, the Broward County Mayor, he decided to close all non-essential business. I was joking with my wife that when you read the list of what is essential business, it's like basically everything except a little bit of retail stores. But at the same time, it's good. Like I believe we should find a balance between how do we keep people getting employed and getting their money somehow, and at the same time trying to avoid contact with other people.
So that balances the struggle. I mean, the governor of Texas will not declare a state of emergency, or will not declare a curfew and a lockdown because he says most of their counties don't have it. Well, most of their counties haven't been tested, so you don't really know whether your counties have it or don't have it, you know?
And I'm pretty sure here in Broward, the situation is way worse than, like, we don't know, we're not testing enough. But at the same time, like, for example, if we compare the county with the governor, at the same time, and again, I'm not at all affiliated to his political party. I've never voted for him. But at the same time, I do know that Florida has a lot of counties and areas that are very rural. They're not like highly dense population like Broward or Dade or Orlando. And I get why maybe he wants to avoid getting a little bit too ahead of it. But again, maybe it's just a lack of political courage.
Political
courage. They don't want to lose.
Courage. I thought you were going to use that word, political courage. Well, listen, here's the thing. I'm plugging my phone in because the battery is starting to go down. I go back to what Dr. Anthony Fauci said. And right now, quite frankly, more than I want to hear from politicians, I want to hear from doctors. That's all I want to hear from are doctors. Give me the doctors, and the politicians stand behind the doctors as far as I'm concerned. But Dr. Anthony Fauci said the other day, the degree to which people think you're overreacting is the degree to which you're doing the right thing. Because here's my question. When in life is it ever right to overreact? It's right to overreact about a pandemic. It is right to overreact about a pandemic because you're not only protecting yourself, but you're protecting the others around you. You know, so listen, I'm glad you weighed in from Florida.
Thank you.
Fort Lauderdale, right?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. And where do you work in the mall? What store?
I used to work at the Bose, and I changed basically from the Bose store location, and I'm working now with another retailer. They haven't closed, BrandSmart. I'm still representing the brand, but I'm not working with Bose anymore. I'm like a contractor.
Are you saying Bose, like the audio Bose?
That is correct.
Okay.
They decided long ago, a week ago, to close all those stores, basically before the mall was closed. And then some point during Friday, they decided to pull also the contractors from the other locations that they cover.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
All right, Eduardo. Bye-bye. So somebody's asking a question. I see pandemic, ... asymptomatic ? I'm not sure exactly what the question is, but the asymptomatic people could be walking around not knowing they have it and be giving it to other people. They could be shedding the virus, as doctors say, shedding the virus and passing it on to other people. That's the concern about having asymptomatic people out and about. There is a French person on. Who is the French person? I don't see anyone in French. French government has handled it very well, different from US. La Expo, maybe it's La Expo, PR? Maybe it's a Puerto Rican in France?
Hi.
Hi, are you a Puerto Rican in France?
I'm Puerto Rican in Paris, that's correct.
Where are you in France?
So I'm in Paris. I'm in the center of France. Yeah.
What are you doing there?
So I'm an exchange student from the University of Puerto Rico. I'm at La Sorbonne.
Great. Well, why don't you tell us, France is having a tough time with it. Why don't you tell us the situation?
Yeah. So I think French media has been so different from the media in the United States because as a socialist government, and I don't know if this has something to do with it, they're not a sensationalist with the media. Like doctors are speaking here. What you said, you don't hear politicians, you hear doctors all the time. And I speak French, so I listen to the French radio every day. And it's positive, David. It's positive news. You know what they did today? They made a list of all the philosophers, painters, and great intellectuals in history that have been confined at some point in their life, either for asthma or prison, and what they did in that time. You know, so they're using like the quarantine as a moment for reflection. They're talking about how pollution has decreased a lot in the air in Paris here. And so it's just been facts, 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 facts. You know, people talk with the facts, they talk with the numbers. Even today, they were saying 5,000 people a day are getting tested in Paris, which they were comparing to. I have the numbers here because I'm very into this. I'm working a lot with this coronavirus thing. 25,000 people in Madrid are getting tested per day versus 5,000 in Paris. So they were urging the French government to please bring up those numbers. Because of what you were saying, people can carry it without knowing, but quarantine here has been pretty strict. People can go out to exercise, and of course, all the French bread places are open. People are buying their baguettes, but apart from that, the streets are empty.
So like the cafes and the places where the French like to hang out and sip wine, and that's closed.
Exactly. Basically, every single place that is a cafe is closed. You can only go in and order food and then wait outside to get it. There are lines in the supermarkets too. People stand at least a meter apart. But what I have found really interesting, and being from Puerto Rico, as I told my mother, most of my anxiety comes from Puerto Rico because I get the news from Puerto Rico every single day. And it's all like deficiency and chaos and no toilet paper. Toilet paper? I don't know why. But no toilet paper. Whereas here in France, you have posters that say, buy responsibly. There is no scarcity. Think of others. You know? So it's as if the French system is talking to you before you have time to ask it a question, which I think is really important, you know. Don't leave space for doubt. I feel like the Puerto Rican government just didn't speak for a long time, and that allows people to come up with their own stories, their own facts, and fill in that gap, which can sometimes be dangerous.
You are just telling some truth here where I am just sitting still and letting you run.
Thank you. I've been meaning to talk to you for a while, and this is actually
Wow.
the expo. We did an art challenge for all the students in Puerto Rico that are in quarantine because we think this is a time for artists to create. You know, art has always reflected society, and this is history. It's the first time in history the entire earth has stood still.
We spoke to a woman in India today who turned the camera around and said, I can see the mountains. I can see the mountains. And she showed us.
That's amazing. Yes, the sky is super blue here. And I'm living with a French lady who is 75 years old, right? So I'm also getting this super interesting dynamic with living with the French person and talking to her every day and hearing her part of the news. And she was saying, le ciel est bleu. It's the first time the sky is blue, but it's blue in like, it's the most richest vibrancy. I can't even explain it because she says Paris is not cloudy because it's like rainy. She says Paris is cloudy because of pollution. Because Paris has a lot of pollution, and so the air is clear, the streets are empty. There is a positive side to it, you know.
Someone said, can she speak in her native
Claro,
Spanish so we can hear her?
Yo soy boricua, pero boricua de verdad. O sea, como que mi inglés, mira, yo hablo inglés, francés, italiano y español. So I speak French, Italian, English, and Spanish. But Spanish is my first language. I'm doing all of this for Puerto Rico, you guys. Like, I'm here at La Sorbonne. I'm studying how I can make my country a better place because I am with you. We have been beaten so much and we don't break, and we're gonna build this up. So I'm excited.
Your words and your testimony here has a way of just, I mean, I'm feeling what you're saying. I'm feeling it. And you speak so English, Spanish, French, and Italian?
Italiano.
And I'm still working on my English. Oh, oh my. Well, listen, it is such...
it's all been in the Puerto Rican public university, which I have to shout out. Like Puerto Rico has really good system that is still working. They're underfunding it a lot. They're cutting a lot of the programs I'm in. That's why I'm here in France, because they're cutting a lot of like French classes. My teachers, you know, like they're not getting paid, stuff like that. So it's complicated, but I do have to say I'm 100% de Puerto Rico. Soy un ejemplo de lo que mi país puede hacer. Y nada, I love my island. I got it. I got my flag here. I need to show it.
Of course you do. All right. There you go.
Yes, I should take a screenshot that way. Yeah. So
listen, people are asking what your Instagram handle is. It's la.expo.pr.
Exacto.
LA.
.expo.pr. So
Right.
it's La Expo as in La Exposición. Because this is our page where we expose Puerto Rican and just all artists. Because we believe if the system doesn't adapt to us, we make our own system. So we made this page so that we can connect Puerto Rican youth. So if you're a Puerto Rican person right now watching this, por favor, danos follow. Todas las noticias son buenas, positivas, y we just want to move forward, you know. We don't want hate, we want love.
I love it, and I love your spirit. Thank you.
Yay, David. Un placer. Patricia is my name.
Patricia, it's a pleasure.
I love you. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Ay, y'all are blowing me away with these people. I mean, what else is better than this? You tell me what else is better than this. I'll tell you, going to the restroom. I'll be right back. Patty Cakes, Daddy's going to the restroom. Voila! Yes, so y'all are sharing her Instagram. Good. God, wasn't she just her and the people before her? I'm telling you. It's unreal. Unreal. Hmm? Former astronaut guy just to coping with isolation. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. So CNN is interviewing an astronaut who's talking about isolation and how to cope with it. Hi. Now, y'all know we talked about this. If you don't want to come on, don't push the button. Don't push the button. Did I go to work today? I did. I was on television this morning. If you don't want to be called on, don't push the call on button. That's funny, right? I mean, like, why you push the call on button, and then when you get called on, you look like a deer in a headlight.
Oh, wait. Hi.
Good morning. What is your name?
Adriana. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. Where are you in the world?
I am in Manatí, Puerto Rico.
Oh.
And this is Mateo.
Oh, what's his name?
He's Mateo. He's 2 months old.
Oh, can we see him again?
Here you go.
Oh, look at those little rolls on the arm. Oh. Listen, you have to understand. I have terminal baby fever. I'll never get rid of it. I'll never lose it. I love a baby. Look how sweet. Oh, see, I could just, oh, look, those little lips moving. I could just watch that all day. If somebody set up a baby camera, I could just watch a baby camera all day.
Funny.
So you're in Manatee?
Yeah, Manatee.
Manatee.
So
Okay.
we actually live in Rio Piedras. Me and my husband. We live in Rio Piedras, but we had to kind of isolate ourselves in Manatee with his parents because this is the only way he can work from home. Luckily, he's able to maintain his job, and he's able to work from home. Unfortunately, I'm unemployed now, and I have. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, so my previous relationship, I have two other children, and their father is also unemployed now. This happened on Wednesday, and my brother lost his job. My father's business just went bankrupt in this past couple of weeks, and it's been financially really intense. And you know, when you have three kids, it's kind of you don't know what you're going to do. And we have this new baby. So there's a lot of uncertainty, but I mean, we're taking it one step at a time. I know that, you know, one of the things that kind of make me angry, you know, is that you see the Fed throwing, you know, trillions of dollars into the stock market. And then we were not really talking about, you know, the average worker. We're not talking about how this is, you know, we're talking about how this affects big companies, but at the same time, you know, what's going to happen to the people. And this is not an issue that that is new to this situation. It's been happening for a while, and you know, this is just a symptom of that. You know, why are we not protecting, you know, working families? Why, you know, are we giving all the funds to people who have unimaginable amounts of money on their bank accounts? One of the things that I was thinking about when this whole quarantine started was, you know, I understand the need for a quarantine, but does the government understand that some people, if they don't work, they don't eat? I mean, it's that simple. And
So I want you to know, just to that point, if I may, for a moment, the governor at 11:30 today is going to be announcing what she says are financial incentives. I don't know if that's the right phrase, but basically she's going to talk about her plan on how to help companies and people. And then, of course, the federal government right now, I'm looking at CNN, and the crawl says GOP and Democrats clash over stimulus package. So as soon as the Congress can get their act together, they will pass some legislation that will help people like you and will help all of us.
Right.
But just so everybody knows, at 11:30 today, Puerto Rico's governor is set to make some announcements. So stay tuned on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, but we're staying at home. We're doing what we have to do because we know it's the only way that we can, you know, kind of go through the wave of this pandemic. You know, there's nothing else at this point that is more responsible than staying at home. But it does bring a lot of uncertainty, and we are worried. We have a brand new chubby little baby, and you know, we want to make sure that he's safe and that he has everything that he needs.
Yeah, he is just adorable. How old is he?
He's 2 months old. He's going to be 3 months on the 27th of this month.
Sweet little Mateo.
Yeah. He's already survived earthquakes and pandemics.
God. He could write a book, and he can't even write.
Yeah.
Listen, I thank you. Nice hearing from you.
Hey.
Bye. So sweet.
Hi, David.
Hi, what is your name?
Trevor.
Okay, Trevor, where are you in the world?
I'm in South Jamaica, Queens.
Okay, all right here in New York City.
Yeah.
So, what's your new normal?
What you mean?
Well, how has life changed for you given what's going on? What's different?
Well, this whole thing with the coronavirus Um, I have to work like 6 days a week, and one day I'm off, and I wear my mask every day with my gloves, and it's like I got to be very careful because I have asthma.
What type of work do you do, Trevor?
I'm a maintenance worker at a supermarket in Whitestone, North Shore Farms.
Okay. So your cup, because it's considered an essential business, that means you're still going to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you nervous about going in, given everything that's going on?
Yeah, but then no, because I'm a really strong person at the end of the day. But it's like, um, no, I'm not really nervous, but then again, I am because my asthma. And my mom the other day, she was crying in my arms the other day. She was like, "You could really die from this. You have asthma. You need to be very careful," and things like that. Like she was really crying. She was really crying.
Well, my apologies to Trevor. We got caught by the Instagram police again. We hit our hour mark and they cut off our stream. So if Trevor is still on here, or if he gets back on here, I would like to bring him in. So we'll give everybody a chance to get back on. All right. Greetings to all of you. It is 10 o'clock here in New York. We've been on for a couple of hours now. The Instagram police just caught us and shut us down after an hour. I was talking to Trevor. If Trevor is still on here, I'd like to bring Trevor back in. While we wait for Trevor on, we'll try this person who says, greetings from Puerto Rico Island. Doesn't look like that person is answering. So, Trevor's still on. Okay, Trevor. We'll pick up where we left off. Sorry you got cut off. So I was talking about your mom. So your mom essentially, in getting very emotional with you, made it very real for you, I would assume. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And the asthma is a real issue. The asthma is a real issue, you having it if you were to come down with it.
Yeah, it is. It's that's why I got 3 pumps with me, 3 asthma pumps. I don't play that.
Wow. Wow. Is there anything else you want us to know? We've just been talking about people's new normal and what it's like to live under this stay-at-home order.
Can I tell you about my twin sister?
You may.
I had a twin sister who passed away like 7 years ago in a car accident. We were twins. We came out the same day.
Okay.
And I'm missing her a lot around this time too.
Like, what is making her presence more present for you today?
What's making me think about her and stuff?
Yeah.
All the fun times we had. We can always sense something, like if we was around each other. Her fun laugh. I enjoyed her personality and everything.
Are you feeling lonely?
Yeah, sometimes. But when I'm at work, I don't feel lonely. But when I'm home right now, like there's people that live upstairs in the house, my brother and his girlfriend. But no, right now I don't feel lonely because they're upstairs. But when I'm home alone, I just like, oh my God, I don't know what to do.
It's tough. Listen, I want to say that you're doing a real justice to your sister by telling us all about her, because I think when people die, we owe it to them to never stop talking about them. And the reality is, not stopping to talk about them helps us, because that person has already passed on. So what we're doing is something to soothe ourselves And I think in talking about your sister, you honor her legacy, and hopefully it brings you a little bit of comfort. And now you have all of these people who are watching right now who acknowledge hearing about your sister.
Oh, and they're saying thank you, Trevor. We love you. I love y'all too. I hope to see y'all one day.
See, your sister would smile really big.
I hope to see you too, David. I always wanted to meet you.
Oh, thank you, Trevor. Listen, I want you to stay hopeful. We appreciate the work that you're doing. And please wear that mask all the time, and gloves too.
I will.
All right. Thank you for
I got.
joining.
Is it possible that you could follow me back on here?
Follow you back on. Well, why don't you send me a message?
Okay.
Okay. Send me a message, and that way I'll know what your account is.
Okay.
Okay, Trevor. Nice talking to you.
You too, hon. You stay safe too. Love y'all.
Bye, buddy. All right. Let's see.
Hey, David.
Good morning. What is your name?
Javier Pedrosa, and
Um,
I'm in New York City right now.
Okay. We just talked to somebody in Queens. Where are you in the city?
I'm East Village, Lower East Side.
Okay, you're in Manhattan. Okay, so what do you want us to know about your new normal? By the way, you're doing better than me to begin with. I was on television this morning and I had nothing but this white wall, and somebody wrote to me and was like, David, somebody wrote to me and said, David, do yourself a favor, like get yourself something. And I was like, y'all, I can't
A
decorate.
little piece of art.
Yeah, I can't decorate to save my life. So you're doing better than me. The floor is yours. What do you want us to know?
So I was actually in Puerto Rico for El Festival de la Salsa. I actually went to surprise my family because they were all going. And as you know, they reported the case of the Panamanian doctor being present at the festival. So that's kind of where it all started for me. I was actually vacationing. And I was there until actually about 4 days ago. So I experienced their first 3 days of lockdown. And then I come to New York City, and of course we know how New York City is. But first of all, I want to say to you that, and I think every person on earth feels this way about you, especially us Puerto Ricans, of the incredible job that you've been doing and the representation that you have created for us. Like, you are a son of the island, and we consider you allies. First that. Second, my little sister in Paris right now that we all got the chance to meet because of this interaction that you're having with us, tells us where we're going as an island, which is really, really beautiful. And I think she's absolutely right because, again, when I experienced lockdown in Puerto Rico, it was almost scary. It was, don't be on the street, you're going to get fined, you're going to... versus the approach that they are taking in France, where it comes from a positive, reinforcement. And I think that's kind of one of the things that we have to keep in mind with all of this that's going on, is that we do need to change our approach in society. And we do need to come in from a positive standpoint. And how do we make situations better? So I want to say to her, and to you, obviously, thank you, because we're able to see outside of our, walls through what you're doing. So, I think somebody said it's like watching the morning show, and it is. I'm like a guest on your morning show. So thank you.
We've created our own little morning show here. Listen, I want to understand carefully. Are you calling the girl in Paris your sister just as a Puerto Rican?
As
or
my
is she...
Puerto Rican sister.
Okay,
Not
I thought
because
it was
we're related.
I thought it was a relation. Okay, got it.
No, I love her.
So when you came back from Puerto Rico, are you in self-isolation now? Because it would be advisable to isolate for 14 days.
Yes. It's just actually my husband and I here in the apartment, and we actually have these little babies here. This is Augie and Sammy, Sammy's father is in Italy and got stuck in Italy for the next month. So we're dealing with that also. So it's just him and I. He's in health as well. So we're just staying to ourselves. We did go to our neighbors. We have 2 elderly neighbors, just to let them know, if they need anything, to please let us know. But yeah, I think we are taking this very, very seriously.
Are you working from home?
I am. I'm actually working on creating a show that hopefully one day you'll be a guest on, because it highlights our Latinx heroes and our allies. So that's actually what I have been just drowning myself in. Like she said, artists and creatives, this is the time for us to really, really just buckle down. There's no excuses that we have to do X, Y, and Z. We need to get, especially us Latinos also, we have to own our own intellectual property. And so, we all know there's a big movement happening, especially with the Latino community. So it's just time for us to get organized, and I'm hoping that my show would hopefully be one of those key tools that organizes our people and our allies.
Okay, I love it. Sounds good. Well, thank you, Javier, from the east side of Manhattan.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. So someone is asking, David, after you self-isolate for 14 days, can you go out? You can go out and still get it. You absolutely can. But the idea is the shedding of the virus. It's advisable to wait 14 days for the virus to shed if you have it. There are some studies is not the right word. There's some data coming out of Europe that suggests that some people are taking up to 30 days to shed the virus. So yes, the 2-week advisement is in case you are still shedding the virus, you would shed it. And after that 2-week period, you would not be in a position to give it to someone else. But yes, if you didn't have it during that 2 weeks and you took a precaution, you could definitely go out and get it. But the reality is, where we are in New York City, you're not supposed to go out. I mean, I go out because I got a dog, and so I walk right out my door, he does his business, and we come right back in. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Okay, somebody says, I think I lost my turn. Well, I don't want anybody to lose a turn, so let's see if they're still here.
Hi.
You thought you lost your turn.
Yes. I'm here with my daughter. Say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, what is your name?
My name is Melanie.
Moni?
Melanie.
Melanie. And Mom, what's your name?
My name is Berta, and I'm a teacher.
Hi, Berta. So where are y'all in Puerto Rico?
Dorado.
Dorado. Okay, so tell me about mother and daughter's new normal.
Well, I study in the UPR of Utuado.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take classes online starting tomorrow.
Okay.
On the Moodle site. So everything is going to be online until further notice.
Okay. Mom?
And I'm in contact with my students through the internet also, but I'm trying to do that. What I'm doing at the time is that I am contacting them through WhatsApp. Meanwhile, I take the workshops that the Department of Education is going to offer the teachers here in Puerto Rico. And I told my students my parents to take the workshops also. But if they're not able to do it because some of them don't have internet, so I'm gonna use another application. I think I'm gonna use Edmodo. I have 2 plans. If the Department of Education, if the parents can take the workshop. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna contact them again, so they could contact me through the Edmodo application.
Edmodo?
Edmodo, yes.
Okay.
We have a few, but I already opened an account in Edmodo.
This is great. This is great. Well, that's good. And you guys are staying inside? I mean, all of this can be done without leaving the house, right?
Yes, yeah, we are. I want to go out with I want to go with my daughter, but she doesn't let me. So.
Good,
Yeah,
good,
because I
good,
tell her,
Melanie.
like, Mom, it has to be one person by family. And she's like, no, I want to go with you. I don't get accustomed to that, but I'm trying to do my best,
Good.
because I know that she's right.
Do
And
you
we're
all have
taking,
do you have a backyard where you can go out and get a little sun, or a front yard?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay.
And we're taking bomba classes in San Juan with Tata Cepeda. But through the internet. Since we can go there, she sent
Right.
us a video on YouTube, and
Right.
we practice here.
I love it. I love it.
She has to tell you what bomba is. Bomba is a dance that we have here in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And we can go to San Juan, so she's doing it through Facebook Live. We're taking the class.
I've never seen a boomba. Can you show me what the boomba is?
She knows how. She knows how to dance. I can show you a few steps.
Okay, show me a few steps. I've never seen it.
Oh my God. So the rhythm, there's like a few rhythms. The one that we're practicing now is Sika with a apostrophe at the end of the A. So it's like this. So you start with your right leg, and your left hand goes like this. But that goes with the dress and with the music. And one of the steps is like that.
I like it. We just need some music to go along with this.
Yes,
And so they usually is that where they usually have the dress that they're kind of holding in a hand, and the dress that's got
They
it.
usually like have this, what Mom is wearing.
Yes.
And the big one, the dress or the skirt. That's usually like a decoration, but you can do it without the skirt. And men can dance also. So that's a cultural dance that we have.
I love it.
And from the African people, but we have like adopted and make it our own.
I love it. I love it. Well, thanks for giving us a little demo, and I wish you both the best.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you, David.
It's a pleasure to meet you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for everything.
Paddington just made I think he was having a bad dream. I heard like a little yelp. I think it was a bad dream, but now he's asleep again. Now he's asleep. Okay, let's see. I watch his breathing. I just watch him sleep.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Michelle, we spoke I don't know, 2 days ago, I think. I'm the one that might get divorced. I'm joking. We're fine. We're still happily married.
I do remember you now. Do you have an update for us?
I mean, things are going, we're trying to do our part. We're doing the best we can. I kind of stopped going to the park just to avoid contact with people. So I do the same as you're doing, taking my dog out for potty, like right on the block and back home, trying to keep him very busy because, I mean, animals get stressed too. I can tell that he's not, we usually wear him out with energy or take him to daycare, and we're not even doing that right now just to avoid contact with other people. And yes, I found out this I think it's taught through Coursera, and it's the science of well-being. It is taught by a professor at Yale, and you can do the course online at your own pace, and you can measure your happiness before and after, and it's a great tool for you to stay busy. You get assignments, you read, I found that it was a good distraction, so I started on that, and I believe it's free unless I'm sorry, I'm out of breath because I speak so fast.
No,
unless
okay. Where do people go to find it if they want to do it?
It is Coursera.com, but if you want to find it straight, just type Coursera, the science of well-being. And I also wanted to let people know these are really rough times. But if anybody needs to talk, I'm here. Just shoot a message and we'll get on the phone, we'll video, we have coffee. And it's difficult. So I'm here if anybody needs to talk. I'm that kind of person.
I love it. Well, her Instagram handle is Michelle Riley. Michelle, common spelling, Michelle. Riley,
Yes.
Reily.
Perfect.
Thank you, Michelle. Good to hear from you again.
Take care. Nice
All
seeing you,
right.
David.
You too.
Bye.
It's nice to know about that course if somebody wants to take it. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Oh my God. Hi, David.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Kamara.
Okay, and where are you in the world?
I'm in Boston.
All
I'm
right.
from Puerto Rico. I've been
What-
living here for 15 years in the States. Boston for 8 years.
What did you want to tell us about your new normal?
Oh my goodness. I just opened my business. I have a hair salon. I'm a hair colorist here in the Back Bay area. And I opened in the middle of this chaos.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
awful. It's awful.
Have you even had a first opening day of clients?
I did. My first week was amazing because I was renting a booth in a location nearby, and I took the month of February, to rehabilitate the area where I was going to rent, and then in March it was a great 2 weeks, and then all of the things went down, and I'm like in quarantine, and it's not good because I've been out of work for 2 weeks now, and it's not a good thing.
Listen, I get it. My partner is a hairstylist. He's a colorist, and
oh, nice.
If he ain't working, he ain't getting paid. So I get it. I totally understand what world you are living in, and the reality is that I know a lot of clients, especially of my boyfriends, when people want their hair done, they will do whatever it takes. And so they want to know if he can have them come over to the house or if he'll go over to their house. And he's declined all of that. He's declined all of that because he just doesn't feel like it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Well, I was paying attention very carefully to the news and how they were keeping the social distance to a minimum.
Yes.
And perhaps having businesses with like, what was it, 10 or less?
10 or less,
So,
no more.
yes.
Yep.
So I took one client at a time, and my last client was this past Saturday. My whole entire bookings for the last month, for the end of the month, was completely canceled. I did have a lot of clients texting me like they were not comfortable, even if it was with one client at a time, because just the exposure, just heading out to the trains.
Interesting. Yeah.
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 So,
well, I'm glad you weighed in. You're not alone. There's a whole lot of people who share your story and hear yours, and I thank you for coming on to share it.
Oh, I thank you too. I thank you for keeping me updated for Hurricane Maria while my family is still out there. My family is from Guaynabo, and the tremendous work you did in keeping us informed when nobody else was really heartfelt, and I am very thankful. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Nice talking to you.
Likewise.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Look, I see him moving around. I want to go lay by him. Hi, bud. Hi, bud. Hi. Hi. Oh. Say, I love to stretch. Oh, yes. Say, I love to stretch. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You had a good nap? Did you have a good nap? Oh, yes. Oh, I think you sneezed on me a little bit. Okay. Well, nothing says we can't do this while we're laying on the floor, right? There's nothing wrong with laying on the floor and doing this. So let's bring in da-da-da. Hi, bud. Hi, bud.
Oh wow. Hang on. Hang on.
We should put together.
I'm sorry, David. I'm trying to get my camera. There you go.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Listen, don't feel bad. I'm laying on the ground. We're all just lounging. So
I was laying on the sofa, and then I saw my name pop up, and I'm like, wait a minute. How do I do this? My first time on Instagram doing this.
Oh, well, congratulations. What's your name and where are you in the world?
My name is Sammy Matos, and I'm in Kissimmee, Florida. I'm a New Yorker. I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay.
Raised in the Bronx.
What do you do for a living, Sammy?
Right now, I am out of work. I moved here February 29th, put in a few applications. I work mostly for Walmart, but there's a freeze.
There's a freeze, yes.
There's a freeze on work. It's crazy. But before we get started, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for Puerto Rico.
Well,
we appreciate you. We love you. And I haven't been to the island in 18 years, but I call almost every month. I've been calling every day now. I've been calling every day. My political aunt, who's in Bayamon, she's self-quarantined. She's like 89, but we have family around her that check up on her.
Good.
She's getting over a cold, but I told her, if anything, if you get really, you need to go to hospital. But she's pretty strong.
Somebody just wrote Amazon is hiring, says no experience necessary. You may want to look into that because I did hear about the Amazon jobs. So,
yeah, I think I'm going to look into that because I'm running low on cash and food is okay. I'm here with my best friend and his son. He's a truck driver, and he's been on the road. He's actually delivering to Amazon this morning. In Miami.
Okay,
yeah. So I'm going to give that a try. The only thing is, I'm a little worried about this Corona thing. Yeah, I don't even drink Corona. I'm a Budweiser guy. But anyway, that's an old joke.
That was good. Hey, listen, we all need a good little laugh, Sammy. Don't apologize.
Yeah. I used to be a stand-up comic.
I love it. I love it. Hey, listen, thanks for weighing in. And if you get that Amazon job, I'd like for you to come back and let us know.
I will do that. Thank you, and keep up the great work. God bless you, and have a good spring.
Thank you, Sammy. You too. Bye-bye. Yes, for people asking if I'm on the floor, I am definitely on the floor with Paddington because the problem is the only way you get to snuggle with this nugget is if you actually get on the floor with him. Now, listen, I think one of my coworkers said that she was on here. Diane, where are you, Diane? Let's see if I can find Diane. There she is. There she is. Yes, this is the only way I get to snuggle with him. I got to go to him. He doesn't come to me. I got to go to him. Let's get Diane on the Instagram. Diane, you still on here? Waiting for Diane. It says waiting. It says waiting. Diane actually works for a division of CBS where she does reports from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. So I'm curious to talk to her because I was just looking at the television and it said stocks plunge.
David, excuse me, I am home, so I.
Honey, don't apologize. I'm laying on the floor. Don't apologize.
I am not in, obviously, full makeup mode, so I'm home. My son here, doing the homeschool thing.
Yep.
I'm out this week. I'm not sick. I'm fine.
Okay.
So they have me off the schedule this week. So that's fine.
Okay. Okay. So tell me about.
Say hi really quickly.
Hi, bud. You're so cute.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
Diane, tell me about the new normal for you.
So new normal is son at home trying to do the homeschool thing. I mean, that can be challenging with obviously us who are still working since, news is still considered part of essential. So that can be challenged because you feel like you're in triage mode, getting out the news, and also trying to make sure he does his assignments. And you're like, what assignments are actually important for a 4-year-old? Because also, let me back up a little bit because he's talking. But yeah, so that's the challenge. The new normal is still, oh my gosh, I look terrible.
No, honey, please. Can I? Okay, you want to feel better? My mother says to me last night, "How you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing fine." She said,
Yep.
"You going to be back on television tomorrow?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, listen, don't forget your appearance when you do these social media videos."
Yes.
I said, "What?" She goes, "Well, you just that stubble. It just
That
she
would
is
be
not
that.
a she is not a fan of the stubble, and she has no shame to tell me. No
My
shame.
mother only recently stopped telling me to grow my hair. She's been telling me to grow my hair forever, but it's been short forever. But so our moms always have an
Always,
opinion.
always, always. So tell people what I was telling them, you are often on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
Yes. Yeah. So today the stock exchange is actually not open. So the person who was in for me today, Wendy Gillette, who I'm sure you know as well, is doing reports outside of the exchange. And that will kind of be our modus operandi for the foreseeable future until there is, a date, I guess, set for when the exchange would open back up. But it closed just like many other businesses. Not just out of an abundance of caution. They actually did have 2 cases of COVID-19. One was a person on the floor, trader on the floor, a gentleman who they said had come in but didn't get to the floor because they started having medical workers screening, testing to see if you had a fever.
They were even testing you guys, right?
Yes, they did. They
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
They did. They tested us. So we weren't allowed onto the floor before a certain time, before 6 a.m., because that's when the medical workers got there. And then once once you were cleared, you could be on the floor. On Friday, we did start broadcasting outside of the exchange just because
Yeah.
it is quite the haul to be outside and then try to take all the equipment inside. I mean, you know how TV goes. I mean, one of the things I do want to reiterate that I mentioned to the one gentleman who was on your live is there are some companies hiring. I know that some people are in a very difficult position and you may not have the kind of job that you're used to, but there are opportunities. For instance, Amazon is hiring. They say they're hiring more than 100,000 or about 100,000 new workers. You have, like I said, Papa John's, Domino's. Again, those may not be the ideal jobs. And some people are also getting creative. Think of ways that you can turn your skill set into a virtual skill set. I saw one woman who normally does like events now offers herself up as a virtual Moana for like kids parties. So a kid can have
Wow.
so yeah, people have to get creative in times like these. You just figure out things that you can do to turn your skill set into a virtual skill set.
Diane, we talked to a woman in the Midwest last night who's a nanny, and she has offered her clients to do some nannying online. So in other words, if mom needs an hour or 2 for a sandwich break or to clean, she said, I'll read a story.
Oh, that's
puzzle
really nice.
together. We'll do right. And I was like, that's brilliant.
That is, and speaking of that, if there are home care workers, nannies who are out of a job because they're, the family they were working for is working from home and no longer needs those services. There are medical workers I've seen in some mom groups reaching out, asking for it because now they need someone in their home because they may not be at home for considerable amounts of time.
This will forever change the way we live, work, and make money forever.
Yes, indeed.
It won't be the same.
Yes, there's a huge shift in America. But I don't want to take over your live, especially because I look crazy, David.
No. I'm so glad we got you on. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
And, I'll see you back on TV.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, love. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Paddington, where did you go? Where did you go, my boy? Where are you? I tried somebody, but it ain't working. It's not working. Oh, Randy. Randy is the person who we were trying to get on yesterday. Let's see if we can get Randy on.
Hi, David.
Hi, Randy. It worked. So
Finally.
tell us where you are in the world.
Well, I'm right here in New York. I'm a Puerto Rican, but I live as 4 years right here in New York.
In New York. Okay. And tell everybody what you were explaining about you work for the FDA. Is that correct?
Exactly. I work in the division of imports of Northeast on New York.
Okay. What did you want everybody to know?
Well, the thing is, well, in our position, they send it to us too many information about what's really happening in regards about all that thing that we doing in the field, right? Now, first of all, we working from home because, well, because of the issue, they don't want us be in the office. So they send it to us, that thing that I sent it to you for your DM, that it says, I call it test kits because it's called IVD, that it means in vitro diagnostics, and it's for detection and diagnosis of the virus that causes COVID-19. But the thing is that we're working in the IMF. IMF is the International Mail Facility on GFK, and too many test kits, too many IVD, it's coming into the commerce in New York through the mail facilities, and they try to send all that test kit for the different places. Some of them they try to send it for a different retail store so the people they can get that test kits. But of course, our job and the people they can feel safe, because our job is just to go there, just to check all the papers, all the supporting documentation, if they have everything. Because I know that the president says that is no restriction. It's no restriction, but this does not mean that you can getting into the commerce anything that you want, and you know that. So that's why I just want to tell you that the people, they need to be careful what are they found in the retail store, or what are the people they says to them that, hey, I got a test kit, or I got this that is called IVD. No, it's not. Just be careful. If they don't have any paper for that, just be careful with that thing.
All right. So basically what he's saying is, as tests become more available and prevalent, be careful where you are going, because you might have some, corner store saying they got a test, and it may not be a legitimate test. So
exactly.
Just be careful. Just be careful. How do people make sure if it's a legitimate test?
Well, first of all, in the retail store, they cannot have any test or test kit for COVID-19. That's the first.
Okay, so that's really important. If you go anywhere in the country and they say, hey, we got a test, we can give it to you, that's BS. The only way you can get a test right now is if a doctor orders it. That's the only way you can get a test.
Definitely, because like I said before, that the president said that it's no restriction. If you want to make a drug or something that can help for the COVID-19, that's great. But this does not mean that everybody for all the countries, they're going to send to the United States any test kit without any paper. And it's just happening. I think it's 2 days ago, my supervisor, he called me that they tried to get in something. And of course, immediately the FDA, they sent our investigator, like me, they sent for the International Mail Facility just to verify if they have papers and all that thing. Fine, you have paper? Come on, let's go out. Because of course we need it.
Well, I don't understand the International Mail Facility. What I don't understand what happens there.
That's the post office. You know that everything that it's come from other countries and try to get in United States by the GFK, they got a post office right there that they call it, and the name is International Mail Facility, because every package or every parcel from India, Pakistan, or any other country, it's go into the mail facility in GFK. That's the port of entry right here in New York.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Well, this has been good. So again, the takeaway from this is, if you go anywhere and somebody offers you a test, it's not legit, or it's not FDA approved. If the only way you can get a test in the U.S. is if you get a doctor's order, or if you go to a drive-through facility
Yep.
where doctors are doing the testing. So here in New York, they're doing drive-through testing. Puerto Rico is starting drive-through testing tomorrow in Rio Piedras,
Yeah, I
in the
hear.
municipality of San Juan. Again, it's got to be a doctor. It's got to be a doctor's order that they call into a lab, or you're in a hospital and they call it in, or you go to a drive-through and there's a doctor on site who's doing the test along with the nurses. Thank you. This has been good to tell people.
No problem. Anyway, you can reach me by the DM because, of course, like I said, we received too many information like this that I sent it to you. And this is an import bulletin, and they put a number 83B01. But anyway, anything, of course, because this is our information. So just write me to the DM. Hey, Randy, I need to know this about that or whatever, and I can roll back to you. I don't have any issue with that.
Thank you, Randy.
The last thing that I want to ask you, because this is my question that I do to myself. Now let's guess that me or other people, they get coronavirus, and now I got family like me, because I got my wife, I got my daughter, and now I get the coronavirus. What are they doing with the people if I get that thing? I need to stay in my room. I need to stay in all the different places because, of course, I don't want that my family get this. Do you hear something about that?
Yeah, so the expert advice that has been given from the medical doctors is that even in your own home, if you are able to, you should practice some kind of social distance, acting like you have it just as a precaution. If you were contracted in the house, the doctors have said it's obviously unavoidable because some people don't have the ability to social distance consistently, right? So that's why some people in the house may end up coming down with it. I interviewed a man today whose husband is in the ICU. And when the husband came home, because they initially thought it was the flu, he brought coronavirus home, and the husband got sick and got the same symptoms, but they didn't test him because his symptoms were very mild. And so they said, you should just live thinking you had it. Like his doctors told him, I'm operating under the theory that you have it. But I don't need to test you because I know your husband has it and you have the same symptoms. So you have it, but you're responding very well. Your husband is in ICU on a ventilator, right? So people's bodies respond different, but that's the guidance that's being given as of right now.
Good to know. That's perfect. And
Okay.
I appreciate all that thing. All right.
You're welcome, Randy. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Have a good day, buddy.
Bye. I better get over to my phone charger because this bad boy is about to go belly up. Paddington, you still sleeping? Please ask Randy how he was able to join formula for what to do. Okay, so somebody's asking because yesterday we were having trouble getting Randy in. It said unable to join. We've already let Randy go, so I don't know. But there was someone who just wrote a moment ago that when she was told unable to join yesterday, what she did was delete her app. Then she you coming to snuggle. She deleted her app. Then she reposted it, and it worked. So that is something. Paddington, calm down. You just hit your head. So that's something that can be done. Repost, delete the app and re-download it. Be still, be still, be still. Oh, yes. He actually started yelping overnight. I didn't know what was going on. And so I guess he had a bad dream, something scared him, I don't know. But he came in the bed with me. What is in your ear? He came in the bed with me. I know. I got to get it. Okay. Oh. Something cut his. You know what I'm just finding? Yesterday, you may have heard, and I told many of you, Paddington was sleeping by some chairs, and the chairs fell on him. And he started screaming, and it terrified me, and I took him to the animal hospital. And I'm just now finding where he has a little cut inside his ear. Nothing major, but I'm just now seeing that. So Hey, yay, yay. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. Yeah, like see Joe Mendez, Jom Mendez, it says that you are unable to join. So it may be worth deleting your app and then downloading it again. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Hi.
Hi,
Hi, what is your name?
Sarah.
Sarah, where are you in the world?
I am in South Jersey, near
Okay.
Philadelphia.
What do you want us to know about your new normal?
New normal. Let's see. So my husband is a therapist, a
A
mental therapist
therapist.
who usually goes to people's homes and does therapy, with children. And
Yeah.
now his new norm is to actually do it virtual, which is kind of different.
And
Some
he's a physical therapist.
No, he's a mental therapist.
A what?
A mental therapist, mental
Oh, a mental. Okay, that's good. So a counselor.
counselor. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, but this is really interesting. So he's doing counseling sessions online.
Yeah, it's something that they're starting, because they're a private company and, billing and things like that. You have to actually physically be there, but it's something new, that we're working with right now. So it's kind of interesting. So I have him here, myself, I in the clinical project management business for clinical trials. So doing that. So I'm do the work from home, and I have a 15-year-old, and I'm also divorced, which is another interesting dynamic to our whole life because we share custody, so you have to go back and forth from house to house. So what we decided was my ex-husband and I is to have one child in one home and the other child in his home, and kind of FaceTime and not worry about parenting, fighting about who has who at this time, because it's nice to just stay put in one household instead of going back
I
and
was it hadn't even occurred to me until this morning. Now that you bring it up, I spoke to a doctor this morning who said she is in a what do you call that? A blended family, basically, where it's and she said the exact same thing, but she has 5 kids.
Oh my.
So she said she and her ex-husband had to talk about what they were going to do because you're sending them into a home where you don't know if somebody may be taking them back, and so
Yes.
yeah. So
Yeah.
which child went to live with your ex and who's with you?
Well, daughters, I have a teenage daughter who's 18 and my son is 16. So my son is with me because, we get along better. And then my daughter's with my husband. I don't think I could be with a woman stuck in my house for a long period. So I'm with the boys. I can handle the guys. I handle her. So I'm like, okay, you go. But it's funny, she's a senior in high school. They just canceled her prom.
Yeah.
Not her prom, sorry, her Disney trip, which is another, dynamic to this, which is okay. I mean, who cares as long as she's okay. But her, her graduation dress just came in. She has a prom dress that just came in. All those things are being canceled, and it's just a lot for the family. Just changing.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
How long
It's
it's
a
going
lot.
to be? So, as
It's
long
a
as I'm
lot.
healthy, that's all I care about. But I just wondered how out there, how many people have to deal with, child custody and going back and forth. And there's some people that really don't get along with each other. And, and do you share the child? Are they stuck in one household? Do they go back and forth, especially when they're babies as well? Because I had I've been divorced since they were 3.
Well, I have to imagine there may be some situations where the one parent is saying, I'm not sending them to you. And it's like, well, what are you going to do? Call the court? The court's probably closed. I mean, I guess you could get a judge on the phone, but.
True. That's true.
Well, thank you. Thank you for weighing in. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Yeah, I mean, I had a question about immigrants. I mean, I'm not an immigrant, I'm Puerto Rican, but, there's a lot of people I know out there who are working in, either in the restaurant business or produce, the produce business that, are immigrants that might not be legal in the U.S. And I was wondering, I don't know, I just wondered how they're handling it. I wish and I hope that they come wherever they are if they're sick and say that, they are sick, and I hope that nobody turns them away. And,
If there's anybody on here that is undocumented, you should know that the President of the United States said yesterday that he wants people to get tested, and he said that they are not going to be going to airports and trying to look at people's status. I'm sorry. to hospitals to look at people's status. So
No.
that's what the president said, and I hope so too. I haven't spoken to anyone on here yet who is undocumented or fearful of coming out, but that's the guidance from the government. So
now, how about money? I mean, I know that the government is planning to do some type of, check to the people. I'm sure it's going to be, Social Security based, and it's, whatever, I'm sure it's going to be controlled somehow. I guess they won't benefit from that because they're illegal as well. So these poor people are going to probably, how are they going to survive as well? Because, I don't know.
That is
outside of my own, just a thought.
that is an added dimension. If you are undocumented and the place that you would normally work is closed, then yeah, when checks get handed out to Americans,
and you can file for unemployment. They're not.
Correct. Yeah.
Just a
you bring up you bring up a good point. Thank you for raising that issue.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
Nice to talk to you.
You too. Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye. All right. Let's see. Okay. So there's a lady who has been on here trying to talk for a while now. Let's see. Miss Mendez, I know you're trying, but it still says unable to join, love. And I don't know what's causing that. It says unable to join as soon as I click on you. Hello? I'm good. So I see you, but I hear you, but I don't see you. I'm not sure what the situation is. Yeah. Let me try get. Hey, hold on just a minute. We don't see you. We don't see you. So let me try reassess. Weird, right? So we can all hear him, but I can't see him. And now I don't even see him in the queue. And now my queue is cleared. Okay, so why don't you guys leave a comment below if you're trying to get in. If you're trying to get in, leave a comment below and I can try and bring you in that way. Somebody said, hey, you're not working. I was up at 3 a.m. to voice a piece, and I was up at 6:30 a.m. to be on the air for 7 a.m. So yeah, I was working this morning. Instagram, we got 10 minutes, right? That's right, we got 10 minutes. 9 minutes left. I love how you guys are keeping count. I'm back. Okay, so let's try this gentleman again. See if it pops up. He's on Long Island. Hi, so we hear you, but we don't see you. You know what? Hang on. So they can't hear you. People can't hear you at all. They don't hear you. Sorry, everybody. It's a gentleman who's trying to make it work, bless his heart, and it ain't working. It ain't working. All right, let me go through some of these. So somebody asked, how is everyone keeping their elderly active? My mom is 83, keeping her active and healthy here. That's a good question. You guys should share in the comments. Let's see. David, do you know why Dr. Fauci was not part of Trump's COVID-19 press conference yesterday? Wasn't he standing there with Trump? Was he not in the background? Or was that the day before? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he wasn't. I think yesterday I saw the FEMA administrator, Pete Gaynor, the vice president, and then maybe the head of the CDC was there. I'm not sure. Not sure. My mom is in the yard planting. Nothing wrong with that, at least, if she's social distancing. Let's see.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
I'm good. What's your name?
My name is Beyonce. I've been trying for a few days already to get in touch with you.
Well, surprise, but you only have 5 minutes because the Instagram
Okay,
police
I
will
just
cut us
wanted
off.
to share with you. Yesterday, I went to get some things at Walmart. I was all covered up and everything. And it was amazed to see how many people were without masks, even little kids, no protection at all. And they were looking at me like I was the weird one in the store. It was so amazing. And another thing that shocked me was that in the parking lot, the gloves, the plastic gloves, the rubber gloves that they're using, they're throwing them in the parking lot. The parking lot was loaded. I know. I just reacted like you. I looked and I was telling my boyfriend, this is insane. There's garbage cans, and all over the parking lot, there was the gloves on the floor. And I'm like, this is not helping. This is so ridiculous. I'm like, something needs to be done about this, because people think that we're crazy, saying, oh, you're exaggerating, you don't need to wear no mask, and all this stuff. And I'm like, you know what? The reports don't lie. You know what's happening? It's serious, and people are not taking this serious.
Where are you?
I'm in Kearney.
Where's that?
This is in Jersey.
Okay. And where's the Walmart you're talking about?
Okay. Where was the Walmart that we went to? The Walmart. Harrison.
Okay.
Harrison Avenue in Kearney. And it's just amazing how people think that this is not that serious. It's so sad, and that's why this virus is getting out of control, because people are not taking this serious, and it's really upsetting.
I hear you. So let's ask everyone watching, especially if you can properly discard of your gloves in a proper trash can and not on the floor, we would all appreciate it. We'd all appreciate it. Hey, thank you for weighing in. I'm glad you finally got on.
Thank you. And I love the shirt you were wearing the other day. Dios te bendiga.
Dios te bendiga. Thank you.
And thank you from all of the Puerto Ricans. Okay, you're the best.
Love. Thank you so much.
Okay, sweetie. Bye-bye.
Okay, so somebody, I think the lady who was trying to get on, she deleted the app. Yeah, love. It's still, I'm trying you. It doesn't even give me the option to bring you in, Joe M. Mendez. Oh, what's going on? So I think, friends, we have like 2 minutes, right? We have like 2 minutes. So Governor Cuomo is giving an update on the situation in New York. So here's what we're going to do. The governor of Puerto Rico is speaking at 11:30. I am going to monitor that and then provide the information to folks there. And then let's plan on another one. Let's plan on another one tonight at 8 p.m. Okay? I'll see you then.